Hello, my friends from Five Reasons. Welcome back to one of our live commentary here about the Miami Marlins. Today, of course, the first game of the National League Division Series against the Atlanta Braves is going to be played at Minute Maid Park in Houston. We already have some images from the field. We have John Berry warming up, the Fox Sports crew right there. If you're watching, you can go watch. If you want to watch the actual game, you can go to Fox Sports 1, and there you'll have the game going on right now. It's supposed to start at 2:08, so we still have a couple of minutes, around 7 minutes until the actual game starts. So let's go and talk a little bit about the today's matchup, pitching matchup, before everything starts here for the Braves. They're going to be the home team, of course. They finished first in the National League East Division, so they get the home court. Well, no, it's not a home court, but they're the home club team today, and they're gonna have Max Fried as their starter of the day. He's gonna be the starter for the Braves, and in a second we'll show you the Marlins lineup 1 through 9 because we have some bad news for the Marlins fans. Max Fried in 2020. 7 wins, no losses, 7-0 with a 2.25 ERA in 11 starts. The last one against the Marlins was not that good, but before that, or overall, he had 50 strikeouts in 56 innings pitched this year. In the postseason, he has started 9 times. His ERA, no, he has pitched 9 times. He started just once. The first game of the wild card series against the Cincinnati Reds. He pitched very well that day. 7 innings, no runs, just 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. That was a great pitching duel against Trevor Bauer, and he was there for the Braves, holding up the Cincinnati Reds offense that day. The last time he faced the Marlins, like I was telling you guys, September 23rd, so not so long ago. He only pitched 1 inning. He allowed a couple of runs and 3 hits, and then he was taken away just due to some health concerns. And then he came back and pitched in the first game of the playoffs. So that was the last outing of his season. So the Marlins actually made his ERA go a little bit up. But before that, let me check here real quick how low was it before he faced the Marlins, because it might have been under 2 right there. Let me see. Yes, he started that game with a 1.96 ERA, and then after the 2 runs in 1 inning, he finished the season with 2.25, and he's one of the candidates, of course, for the Cy Young Award this year. For the Miami Marlins, we have Sandy Alcantara. He's going to be our starter today for the Marlins, and this is the lineup the Marlins have, so I can show you guys real quick. John Bird is going to be in second base. Jesus Aguilar is going to be DH. Garrett Cooper on first base. Brian Anderson is going to be the third baseman. Miguel Rojas in shortstop. Corey Dickerson in left field. Luz Brinson is going to be the starting right fielder. Chad Wallach is going to be the catcher, and McNary Sierra is going to be the center fielder. I'm missing an F right there. He's a center fielder. He's not another catcher. So the bad news for today are that Starling Marte did not make the National League Championships Division Series roster. So sadly, the Dominican outfielder, the Marlins center field, is not going to be in the roster. And the Marlins, of course, are missing one of their best right-hander hitters in the lineup. And today against Max Fried, they're going to, of course, feel that difference between having a guy like Marte and not having that power, speed, and defense and running ability and all that Marte can bring to the field every day. So sadly, he couldn't recover from the hit by pitch. The injury is probably a little bit worse than what we thought. We talked about it that day. It might have been a little fracture or something of that size for him to be out of the roster. So he's not even an option for the Marlins. On the bench, we're going to have Jorge Alfaro, catcher, right-hander, Jazz Chisholm, infielder, left-handed, hitting, Monte Harrison, Another outfielder, right-handed. Matt Joyce is going to be also on the bench today, especially because Max Fried is a lefty, and then Sean Rodriguez is going to be the other player in the bench. They had to take out starting Marte because of what I already told you guys. So that's the Marlins lineup. In a second, we're going to check the Atlanta Braves lineup. But before, let's talk a little bit about our starter today, Sandy Alcantara. His last two outings have been just great, right? At Yankee Stadium, he went for 7 innings and 1/3, allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, and 9 strikeouts. That was his last outing of the season, of the regular season. And then in the playoffs, he went and against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. He won that game. He only allowed 1 run. It was the home run by Ian Happ, and then 3 base hits. He pitched. He had 100 pitches that day, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and he got the win in that first game of the series. He actually, when he left, the Marlins were up, but then they ended up winning 5-1 in that first game of the series. He ended up with a 3-win and 2 losses record, 3-2, and an ERA of 3.00 and 7 starts. He didn't face the Braves this season. We have to remember he pitched that first game in Philadelphia, and then he left. Well, he didn't leave. He was in quarantine because of the COVID-19, so he couldn't face the Braves this year. Last year he did face them though. Last year he had a 2.41 ERA in a couple of outings against the Braves. We want to welcome our friend Christian Chase. He's enjoying his lunch and he's joining us here for this first game of the National League Division Series. How do you, man? How do you feel? The Marlins are back in the playoffs.
Good, man. Just excited to be here. We've seen a lot of good stuff come out of this team, even in the past few days without even them playing. Just, noddingly saying they can beat anyone. I love the mentality. It's gonna be it's a tall task versus the Braves. We only lost the season series 4-6. I think people overestimate how bad the Braves beat us this year just because of that 129-9 game. But past that, it was pretty even in most of the games, especially early on. We had, at the end of the year, they took 3 out of 4 on us. But at that point, It was 3-3. We had split 2 series with them. But it's not like the Braves are light years better than us. And to be honest, their pitching isn't that great past the first 2 guys. And even the first 2 guys at times can be shaky. So I think it's possible. We're going to have probably a good amount of Marlins baseball to see. Hopefully not 3 and out. I'm expecting
3 and in.
I'm expecting to go to 4. I think this will go to 4 or 5 for sure.
Yes. Hopefully it's a long series and we're gonna enjoy. We have to remember it's gonna be 5 days in a row. So if they play, it's gonna be 5 straight days of Marlins baseball in the playoffs, and we'll be here for you guys in 5 reasons. Max Fried's already started. Like I said, John Birdie, Jesus Aguilar, Gary Cooper are gonna be the first 3. Brian Anderson, Miguel Rojas, Corey Dickerson, and then Lewis Brinson, Chad Wallach, and McNary Sierra. The bottom of the line doesn't look that good with Brinson, Wallach, and Sierra, especially talking about offense. I was talking about the not having Starling Marte in the roster. Christian, how do you feel about losing this type of player for this such an important series in Marley's recent history?
This is the biggest series in 17 years, right? And as we can progress, it will get bigger and bigger. I wrote a piece on the website where I talked about like 5 keys to us winning this series, and one of them was Marte comes back. It's not because Marte is such an overpowering force that like we can't win without him. We can win with him, but we saw in both games versus the Cubs that our hitting really came down to one veteran swing of the bat. Whether it be Jesus Aguilar's home run, Corey Dickerson's home run, and just having Marte in the lineup allows us to have a greater opportunity for that hit to happen versus the Braves. Obviously, it doesn't give us a 0% chance of winning, but it would have increased our odds a little bit, especially with his speed on the base paths.
Yeah, and especially today against Max Fried, who has already struck John Birdie out. 3 pitches, a couple of fastballs in, and then a curveball, and Birdie was out. The key to this series, you were talking about Starling Marte, but it's also the pitching staff, right? And Don Mattingly decided to go with Sandy Alcantara today instead of Pablo, who hasn't pitched yet in the playoffs. Pablo's going to be starting tomorrow in game 2. But I think it was the right decision. I don't know what you think. I mean, Alcantara had enough days to recover, and he was ready to start this game 1 of this series. And that allows you to, if this series goes to 4 or 5, you can maybe use him again in a short rest period, but still you could use it again.
I agree. I think it was a really good call to start Sandy. I think in game 1 you always want to set the tempo. And Pablo Lopez, great pitcher, but he's not our tempo guy. He's not the guy going out there that is setting the tone for a series. I mean, Sixto could do the job as well, but he's working on less rest. And I feel like Sandy's a little more predictable than Sixto is. And I mean, we want our ace out there in game 1 no matter what, because we want to set the tone, and then also opening up the chance that Sandy can pitch in game 5. I think if we do go to a 5th game, we will see Sandy again.
Oh, yeah. You should have Sandy, and we'll see. Maybe if they're against the wall 2-1, Mattingly brings him back in a short rest outing to see if they can recover from that. But this is just starting. Jesus Aguilar is hitting right now. I know Christian's a little ahead of me, so bear with us as we try to be together at the same time. Jesus Aguilar just lines out to right field.
I think we're at the same point this time because I just got that.
Perfect. So Aguilar just lined out to right field. He actually hit the ball pretty well. Let me see what was the exit velocity in that line drive, because he was pretty good, and he also fouled a couple of ones to the left side before in the at bat. But let me see real quick if I can find it here, because that was a good contact by Aguilar, and then Cooper goes for the first pitch, and he's safe at first because Austin Riley just, for no reason, Cooper was like 15 feet away from the base, and he just had a bad throw. So that's an error, and we know what happens every time you give the Marlins a little opportunity with 2 outs. Let me see. He just got lazy, bad throw, and Freeman couldn't pick it up, and he's a specialist in doing this, and he almost got it, but it's safe. So that's an error, and of course, if the Marlins score runs from now on, it's going to be they're not going to be earned. So that line drive by Jesus Aguilar came out of the bat at 108 miles per hour. So it's a very good contact there by Jesus Aguilar. And now we have Brian Anderson hitting 4th hole. We know we talked about Brian Anderson in the last series. He hasn't been hitting the ball very well, but with all the Marlins, the Marlins that are not in the lineup right now are making Brian Anderson be the 4th in the lineup, Rojas be back in 5th. So that shows you a little bit of how deep the Marlins lineup is right now, because of the guys that are not there. Maybe in a normal situation you will have Starling Marte, maybe Alfaro, if he was hitting the way that we're used seeing him hit in past years, he should be in the middle of the lineup. But this is what we have right now, and we'll see if Brian Anderson can make an adjustment and connect the ball very well. 10 pitches, 10 strikes for Max Fried. And there you go, strike out. Brian Anderson strikes out in 3 pitches. So that was 11 pitches, 11 strikes. That was impressive, yes. That was
it's a little scary to see.
Quick inning for Max Fried, and it was 3 pitches longer. Yeah,
that's not the best sight. When Max Fried is throwing 11 pitches to get through an inning. It's not what you want to see. We talked about it a lot in the Cubs series, where we wanted to work Hendricks and Darvish out of the game, get their pitch count up. 11 pitches is not going to do it. We want to look for this. It's the same route that we beat the Cubs. We had to take versus the Braves, and 11 pitches. Not the best start for the Marlins here.
Yeah, and there you have the way that Fried used those pitches. It was mostly fastballs, and most of them on the inside of the plate. He struck out Bertie with a couple of fastballs in and then a curveball in. And he did the same with Anderson, but going up in the zone with two fastballs, and he got Anderson pretty quick as well. The only one was Aguilar, who hit the ball pretty well, but that doesn't count anyway because he hit it straight to right field, and I think that was enough speed over there in the outside corner. So it's time to talk about Sandy Alcantara. Sandy has been our ace, man, since he went to Yankee Stadium, knowing that that was kind of a playoff game for him. We knew that it meant something for him because in the couple of weeks before, the talk was about should Sixto Sanchez be the starter or the ace of this rotation, and then Sandy Alcantara said, "No, you know what? Here we go. He's going to be the ace," and he showed it not only in Yankee Stadium but also at Wrigley Field, and now he has another opportunity against one of the best lineups in this postseason. I was watching the game last night between the Rays and the Yankees, and even the game earlier between the Astros and the A's, and those teams can hit the ball really well. And the only team I think that you can compare in the National League is this Atlanta Braves. That offense, man, is just scary. And
Dodgers have a pretty potent lineup.
Yeah. Dodgers also have a
and
a
the Padres.
Yeah, this is the lineup for the Braves. It's Ronald Acuña, Freddie Freeman, Marcell Ozuna, Travis Dornat, Ozzy Albies, Dansby Swanson, Adam Duvall, Nick Markakis, and Austin Riley. That's the starting lineup for the Braves. It's going to be Acuña, Freeman, and Ozuna in this first inning. So we are going to show you again the live game there, and we'll see what happens. We have to remind you, even though this is played at a neutral site, the Braves are going to be the home team in the first two games, right? And then 2 games for the Marlins, and then if they play the fifth, it's going to be 1 for the Braves.
I think it's important to note how good all the lineups are right now. MLB posted on their Instagram, all their social medias, the power rankings for the lineups of all 8 teams in the division series, and the Marlins were 8th.
Oh. Well, bad news. Ronald Acuña just got a hold of one, and he went way, way, way deep to right field. So it's 1-0 for the Atlanta Braves. That was a bomb. You see Pablo Sandoval celebrating there. Ronald Acuña rounding the bases. This guy can hit, and this guy loves to hit against the Marlins. Even if it's here at Marlins Park, there at Truist Park, or at Minute Maid Park, he can hit the ball as well. So that was a huge ball. Let me see. Let me check real quick. Wow. How far that ball went. Oh my God. Home batters. Okay, so that came out of the 19 career leadoff home runs for Ronald Acuña, who's just used to doing this over and over, right? We're tired. I mean, I don't know how many of those have been against the Marlins, but it's quite a few, right?
Yeah, that is not the best start not the start we want to see at all, to be honest. I think the rest of this inning will be telltale of how this game goes for Sandy. He gets a ground out here on Freddie Freeman, which is good. Normally when that leadoff home run comes as a pitcher, you can easily fall into or even a leadoff walk, you can easily fall into, letting that dictate the rest of the game. But, if you turn it on its head, it can also be effective. That could be the only run he allows. And I think the rest of this inning will show how the rest of this game will go. That wasn't even a bad pitch even. It was on the outside part of the plate. Acuña was just waiting.
I mean, Acuña's kind of used to getting those balls outside. He's very good at hitting them very, very, very hard. And that's why the Marlins have been trying to pitch in. And whenever Reina tries to pitch into Acuña, we know what happens. He hits him all the time. That ball went 428 feet. So that was a big one for Acuña. Like you said, he dominated Freddie Freeman for the second out of the inning. And now we have Marcelo Zuna, who strikes out in 3 pitches. So Sandy Alcantara recovering little by little after that home run to begin the first inning for the Braves. We want to welcome our friend Ryan Lasner. Ryan, how are you, man?
How you doing, man? I just saw we gave up an opening leadoff hit home run to Acuña. So, I'm hurt, but now that I'm here, I feel like I'm going to impact the game in a different way. I think only bright things are going to come from now on. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Welcome to the party. It's still early. I know it's frustrating when the game starts like that, but we'll see if, Sandy, the 2 runs that he has allowed in this postseason have been home runs. So it's just part of being aggressive in the zone, and that's what you get sometimes when good hitters can make contact to your fastball. And we'll see if the Marlins offense can react now. That's a key thing, because we know it was going to be very hard for Sandy to keep the Braves in 0, right? It's not an easy offense to shut down. And
not at all.
And then now you need the offense to come back and help you and back you up a little bit. They're playing the replay from all the different angles, and it's just a monster bomb. 428 feet for Ronald Acuña.
Yeah, and to your point, it was only 1 run, so I'll take that. And he's got the next 2 outs, so no, it's not like his pitch count is still staying pretty low. Oh, he just walked a guy. All right.
Travis Dornall walks after a 3-1 pitch. That was a pretty good pitch in 3-1. A slider that almost touched the down part of the zone. Let me see if we can show. No, it's already passed, but let me see if we can come back here and show you where that pitch was.
Me this time. That's crazy.
Low and outside.
Yeah, it was a little low. It was a little low. With the little box, it looks a little closer than what it actually was. So 2 outs, and Travis Dornall, it's in first base. Ozzy Albies is up now.
So did we talk about Brinson yet?
Well, he's in the starting lineup because Starling Marte is out. So
right.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it.
And he's replacing Joyce. So that's pretty good. That means that they have a lot of confidence in him, and maybe they're just trying to add more speed, because he also replaced Joyce as a pinch runner, I'm pretty sure.
They have 2 outfielders today. They have Sierra there because Marte is not in, and they also have Dickerson. So they couldn't go with 3 lefties out there facing Max Fried. So they had to go either with Brinson or Harrison. And at the end of the season, Brinson was a little better than Harrison was hitting the ball. So that's why he gets to start.
Okay. Was anybody surprised that Sandy got game 1 opposed to Pablo?
Well, we were talking about it.
We were discussing it a little, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think I would have done the same. Maybe a little surprised that Pablo is before Sixto, but I understand that Pablo needs to pitch as soon as possible too, because it's been so long since he pitched that he needs some action. And you know what? Having Sixto Sanchez as the 3rd option is not a bad thing either. So.
Right. Oh, all right. Strikeout. Ozzy Albies.
We lost Lasner again. What did you say, Lasner?
Albies strikes out.
There you go. So 90-mile-an-hour fastball to strike out Ozzy Albies, and that's the inning for the Braves. So after that home run, a ground ball, a strikeout, a walk, and another strikeout, and the Braves are up 1-0 after 1 inning in the National League Division Series. Not bad. Christian was saying we'll see how he reacts after that home run, and I think he reacted pretty well. So not a bad inning. I'd rather have Sandy Alcantara allowing home runs than just walking people and getting into trouble. I'd rather being aggressive, and if they're gonna hit it out, well, good for them.
It's too bad we're not gonna get any Urania in this series.
Acuña flipped that bat pretty hard, man. I wouldn't doubt Acuña would throw it right at his head.
You know it.
Well, they still have next year if Ureña makes the roster. No, that will be another conversation. But okay, so that first inning for Alcantara, 17 pitches, 8 fastballs, 5 sliders, 2 changeups. The home run was on a fastball outside, and not bad. I mean, 17 pitches not ideal, but it's not that bad. Like Christian was saying, at the end of the day, he recovered and he finished the inning with a pretty decent amount of pitches. So we'll see if the offense can pick it up now. And here's where we're gonna miss Marty the most because we need offense and hopefully the guys in the middle of the lineup can react. But I don't know. We'll see.
Did you like Bertie leading off? You think that was they haven't done that too much this season. Do you think? I guess they want a fast guy on base, but I guess we'll find out later in the game if Mags and then Bertie get on for Aguilar. That's probably what they're trying to do if they get beyond the.
Yeah, the leadoff has been Corey Dickerson most of the time, but then again today against the lefty against Mattingly changed the whole plan and put Bertie there. He's fast. He's a very good contact hitter. He can get on base. He can steal some bases too if he can get on. Then he'll be a threat there, running the bases. So I understand why Bertie's there. I think Dickerson is a best hitter than Bertie overall, but I'm not upset with that call. I think it could be very effective.
I don't think there are any options, to be honest. Who else do you even with Marte hurt versus Max Fried? Who else do you lead off? You can't lead off Sierra. He's a lefty. You can't lead off Dickerson. You can't lead off. Are we and then leading off Lewis Brinson seems just not good. So you're left with Bertie, and he's a great leadoff hitter. Guy's a speed demon. He does, but
what happened last night? Don't owe me.
Oh, Miggy Rojas gone.
Really? Here we go. Fastball in the inside, and that ball is way up to the train over there, I think. Oh my God. Here we go, Miguel Rojas.
We back, baby. We back.
And there you go. The Marlins react. Aguilar loves it. And there you go. Miguel Rojas for the first. I think that's the first time he plays. Well, maybe with the Dodgers, he got to play with the Astros when they were in the National League. I don't know. I will have to look that up. But that was a huge home run. Let me look up how far that ball went, like we did with Ronald Acuña.
Wow, that's awesome. All right. And
So,
I like Sandy over Max Fried personally. So
I do as well.
If you could piss off Fried, that's awesome. And also, man, getting production from Miggy Rojas, it's not anticipated. So anytime we can, even though he's middle of the order, but anytime that you can get production from him, that's only a plus because he's not really expected to be hitting home runs.
And that ball went got out of the bat in 105 miles per hour when Corey Dickerson lines out to the track in left field. That porch is really short, right? We're so used to playing at Marlins Park or at Truist Park, and here that wall looks so close, man.
Wow,
that ball was far away. Let me see how many feet that ball hit the track over there. It says 118 feet, so that was just 10 feet less than the Ronald Acuña bomb. So a couple of just bombs in the first couple of innings over there at
wow, hit the top.
Yeah, far away for sure.
So what are you guys looking for from Lewis Brinson during his at-bats today?
Selectiveness.
Contact. Just make contact.
Just looking to get on base, not necessarily looking to do it all. Not really looking for a home run from Lewis Brinson. He's got speed. work deep into counts, I think, is really big. Do your job. We're not looking for the world from him. We just want him to fill his role, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and also, if he hits well, he'll stay in the lineup, you would think. So he's playing for the right to start in very meaningful games, and he's with the trade how it went with Yelich and all the trash talk that even the Marlins fans were portraying towards Brinson. This is a huge comeback for him. Second chance, third chance. They sent him down a few times. He just struck out. No, he didn't. But this is a huge opportunity for him.
That's been a problem for Brinson, man. Just making contact.
Yeah, kind of like some Monte. Okay. Hey, so Christian, how did you celebrate the win, the clincher?
When was that? Yes.
Thursday?
So I live right next to a really good pizza place on University Road, in my dorm, and me and 3 friends got like a ginormous pizza. So it was a good night.
Ryan went to, what was it, La Carreta, or what was it? Where were you?
I didn't go anywhere, I don't think. No, I was joking about going there, but I didn't. I don't even remember, man. God, that's just like what a blur.
Look at that. Brinson just struck out, and he thought it was a ball. We have the pitch here. Let me see it. Oh, we couldn't see it.
He went across, yeah. Not very aggressive.
Let me go get it because I can check here.
We'll see the replay here. It didn't look like he
went.
Did he go?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a swing. Okay, that way. I thought it was a call strike. So okay.
Oh yeah, he went.
I always find it interesting the way that postseason is played with like how the manager I guess put players in, and it's so detailed opposed to like the regular season. There's so much more. It seems like thought, and also a shorter string for a shorter leash for a lot of players too.
Well, it's gonna be interesting in this series because since it's 5 straight days, and we saw yesterday in the Rays-Yankees game how they left the pitcher because, if you leave a guy too long, you can lose him too for a couple of days, and
like we saw with Kendricks.
So we'll see what happens, and the way they use the bullpen, especially the Marlins. The Marlins have 4 arms that are great, but other than that, they have like the other part of the bullpen that it's also has. It's gonna be a point in the series when you're gonna have to use those guys in actual different situations than you're used to, and there's where the Braves can take a little bit of an advantage there. But we'll see especially what the starting pitchers can do for the Marlins, and that's gonna be a key element. We're seeing Wallach again in the lineup, guys. We talked about this. If the starting pitcher keeps working that way, we're gonna keep seeing Chad Wallach all the way. And here Riley almost threw another ball away. So it's 1 inning and a half, and it's 1-1. That home run by Miggy Rowe makes the Marlins ties the game for the Marlins. It's 1-1, 418 feet to left field at Minute Maid Park. Almost got out of the stadium, right? He hit the tracks over there where the little train goes every time the Astros hit a home run. We talked about how quick the Marlins offense had to react, right? Like how the middle of the lineup had to be there and back the pitchers up, and there you go. Miguel Rojas coming up with a home run. As soon as the Braves went up, Miguel Rojas responds with another bomb too.
I got some pictures framed. You might recognize this.
No, give me a second. Let me show you here in the. Okay, show it again.
And then also, right here.
Oh.
Aguilar blowing some smoke And one more, actually.
There you go. Show it up. And by the way, you can take that down during this series. The LeBron James one.
Oh, yeah. I also got this, too.
There you go. So you went to what? To a pharmacy and printed it out? Or what?
Yeah, I did CVS, and they actually have 40% off prints. So I got 6 prints done. It only cost me $12.
Great.
Not bad. Check this one out. Yeah.
There you go.
That was solid.
So I'll put those up. But I put up the Aguilar just now.
Great.
Whew. So the Phillies general manager got fired.
Makes sense.
And I feel like that was because Sixto had such a great game 2 performance that they're like, wow, you should have kept Sixto, man.
I think it was a lot of things, but that probably put it over the edge. Just how talented and how much money they spent on that team to not even make the playoffs. I watched the Marlins make the playoffs. It's not good for the Phillies.
That whole
thing. They needed pitching, and we knew it. We all knew it. It's just they wanted to go the offense route, and it just didn't work out for it. I mean, how many games they lost at the end just because they didn't have actual good relief pitching, and that's what you get. I mean, it happened a lot to the Marlins in the last couple of years. I mean, I know they lost 100 games, but I feel like the bullpen lost like 20 or 30 every year, every of those seasons. They were not a good team, but they could have won more games than they actually did because they didn't have a good bullpen. And I think some of that happened to the Phillies in this short season. Okay, quick out to start the second inning. Dansby Swanson grounds out to shortstop, to Birdie, because they were doing the shift. So it's a quick out for Sandy Alcantara. That's good.
Yep.
Very aggressive for the Braves, and he got that first out real quick with a soft grounder to John Birdie.
The Braves have been very aggressive. They're swinging early in the counts, which makes me think that they saw something in the tapes. Maybe Sandy is more susceptible to early swings than late swings. Makes me think they have some kind of game plan. Yeah.
This guy Adam Duvall, man, he finished the year so hot. It showed he had 11 home runs in September. And I know in that 29 game, he had a couple against us too.
Yeah, he loves hitting against the Marlins this year.
Yeah,
sure.
All Braves do. Seems like so weird that there was no All-Star game this year.
Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind. But yeah, that is kind of weird now thinking about it.
Yeah, this is gonna affect a lot of people, a lot of baseball players, stats too. Like, they lose a whole year of production pretty much. Like a Yelich, like going towards his career numbers, he basically, he only hit 11 home runs or something like that. But, he didn't get the RBIs. They don't get those stats, and it can really affect, the prime of your careers if you don't get those, and he could have bounced back this year, a guy like Yelich or a guy like Stanton or something like that. They could have bounced back and had respectable years, but their numbers look abysmal because of the shortened season.
Yeah. Yeah, for those 28, 29-year-olds who are in the prime of their career to only put up 11 home runs, I mean, they did what they could, but it's really like losing 2/3 of the season to injury.
Yeah, exactly. For everybody.
So this was the third home run that Max Fried allows, and all of those 3 have been Marlins players who hit home runs. The first 2 were in the last outing that Fried had in the season, right after the Braves finished the season, and he only pitched 1 inning that day. And then the other 2 were Jesus Aguilar and Brian Anderson in that last outing. So that's impressive. The only guys that can hit Max Fried, I guess, are the Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, we've had his number pretty much, which is good to see, considering he's the only pitcher we're really going to have to worry about, I feel like, for the Braves. I mean, Ian Anderson, he's all right. And he showed he could do it in the postseason, but we've had his number this year. So not really worried about the pitching on the Braves' end.
I know it's kind of early to talk about, but what are the strikeout? There you go. Markakis.
That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He looked in a good spot to hit, but it just...
That's a great inning by Alcantara.
Yeah,
he's turning it around.
Yeah, let me see how many pitches he used in this first inning, because remember the first inning were 17 pitches. So let's see. For this one, he only used 8 pitches. So
8. Yes. All right, that's what we like to see.
8-pitch second inning, real fast, and that's a very important shutdown inning for the Braves for the Marlins after that home run by Miguel Rose. So very interesting duel right now. A couple of home runs and a lot of strikeouts too.
Do you foresee the Marlins intentionally walking Acuña or Freeman or Ozuna, any of those 3 guys?
If there's men on second and third, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't intentionally walk. But any of the 3.
Acuña, man. Special. No, so what I was going to bring up is, so, Chad Wallach is having a pretty decent, time with us in the postseason. Do you extend him? Is he your starting catcher going into next year? I know it's early, but it's confusing because you have Alfaro just sitting there, or do you need Alfaro to learn more this offseason, or maybe he's just not healthy? Does anybody know?
I don't really know where they'll go with it. I think at the start of next year, we're going to want to split starts between the 2 as we did throughout the year.
Okay.
It's very easy. That even helps them because they get more time off. If you're Chad Wallach, you can throw Chad Wallach with the guys who, like Sandy, who clearly acclimate more to Chad Wallach. But, you got to get Alfaro his innings. And, if we make the playoffs again next year, then we can make the decision as to who the starter is.
Okay.
But I don't think throughout the regular season unless like one of the 2 just start performing way infinitely better. Like if the Marlins win the World Series this year with Chad Wallach behind the plate, Chad Wallach will be the starter next year. Otherwise, they're going to split between the 2 and then probably like this year make the decision if we make the playoffs again.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it, especially with the Braves, how they've been so good at using 2 catchers, right, at the same time. We saw it when they had Tyler Flowers, Brian McCann, Kurt Suzuki. All of those guys used to split time. And I don't know, I mean, watching the Marlins pitch the way they do with Chad Wallach behind the plate, they might go that route because, they have to balance out the offense that Alfaro can bring to the team and then the way the pitchers can perform with Alfaro there, because in the future, right now, the strength of this team is the pitching staff. So you have to go with that, and in order to make the most out of that, you have to have, I guess, the best catcher there available. When the first strike for Magneuris Sierra, he's tried to bunt his way on to first base, but he has to bunt to the other side. He was trying to bunt to first base, but Freddie Freeman's there, so you have to go to Riley, who's been a little bit more shaky. They're both way in, so I don't know where he was going to go with that bunt. Maybe try to bunt it over them because they're so close right now. Okay, 1-2 count.
Hey, I'm 3 pitches behind? What?
I'm streaming on I don't know if you care to hear, but if you type in Google MLB stream, you can go through Reddit and you click on the game, and then you'll see different links that pop up, and you could live stream.
Gotcha. That's actually what I was doing. I guess I was like 3 pitches behind. Is it a 2-2 count now? I think just by reloading it, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the second ball for Sierra, but I know the game day is a little bit ahead of everybody because we're all a little behind. I'm using the
nice pick by Sierra there.
What happened?
A little blooper single to left field.
There you go. That was a slider, I think, in the outside corner. Sierra stayed with the pitch, and then just drop the hands and
And you
let
know
that
he's going to
ball-
be running.
He should be running right now, and that's an interesting part of having Magneto Sierra at the bottom of the lineup, because that way you can tell. I mean, there can produce some stuff there. You have Sierra, and then you have Bertie there, so that's the call. There, you should do some hit and run, some running, something. You can't just stay on first base and wait for the home run with these two guys on. So we'll see what Don Mattingly plans for this first occasion in this third inning.
You know, and although Fried had a really good season, this is his first, I believe it's his first postseason starting, right?
I mean, he pitched
He had a really good
before
game versus
as a
Reds.
reliever, and this is the first time he starts. He started against the Reds in the first series,
Right.
but this is the first year he actually starts games for the Braves in the postseason. He used to
Okay.
pitch, but coming from the bullpen.
He should have some nerves, and maybe they're showing. You know, he's not flawless. I know that. Giving up the home run to Miggy and now a base hit here. So we're looking better. I mean, we're attacking the pitching pretty well, considering, you know, our offense is not our strength. But it's looking that way. If we can get Bertie on, Aguilar, you know he's gonna rope that ball.
Yeah, he had a good swing on the first inning. He lined out to right field, and we'll see what happens now. If Sierra is running, let's wait. Okay, let's see. You guys have it before me, so you tell me.
Sierra read that pickoff very well. I mean, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I know when you have a lefty, I guess you're a little more tentative on the base paths. I don't think he's stealing here. Fried has very good control over the runners at
Yeah,
first.
he's literally staring at the runner the entire time, which I think is affecting his pitching.
As a lefty, I mean, what he's doing is just, you know, what lefties tend to do. I don't think it's necessarily like he would be doing the same thing he's doing now, even if it wasn't Sierra on base. I think it's just him controlling the game. It may be affecting his pitching.
That's a nice pitch.
That was a great curveball. But I really don't. I think it helps him more than it hurts him keeping Sierra there on first.
51 stolen bases by the Marlins, the second in MLB, and they had a 78% success rate, 3% above the MLB average, that was 75%. So there you go.
Yeah, it definitely has to be a hit and run, because if you get doubled up with Sierra on first, that's terrible play calling by the manager. You got to have him running at all contact before the contact and not get doubled up.
It's hard to run on Fried though, man. His ability to control that runner on first is very, very, very. It's an underrated trait for a lot of lefties. I think the only lefty I've seen recently who just can't do it at all is John Lester.
You saw it in that last John Lester. Last pitch, John Lester couldn't throw the ball to first. So on that last pitch, Sierra actually went back to the base and then Fried pitch. So you can tell he's having a hard time reading the.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, what happened?
Base hit, right field. Oh, Sierra's digging for third. He's in.
In, baby. Yeah. All right, first, third, nobody out. Time for small ball. Can we do it?
Uh-oh. Fried he looks like he's panicking.
Uh-oh. With Jesus Aguilar coming up, I'd be a little scared.
All right, so it's man on first and third with no outs in the top of the third. A couple of base hits to the other side. Good. Sierra went to left field. Bertie went to right field. They're using the entire field, and awesome running also by Sierra, right? As soon as he saw the ball, he was on third, and Markakis tried. It was a decent throw, not as much in the throw as he used to have, Nick Markakis, because it was kind of shallow. But all right, so we have Aguilar with man on, and this is that bat that you need, right? That's why you brought this guy with a lot of experience in playoffs. He's a good hitter against the lefty. This could be a very important pitch in the series.
And this could be that veteran AB I was talking about, where we get that timely hitting from that veteran in situations like this.
And also, it's so early in the game that usually Atlanta will allow that run on third to come in if they can double it up here.
Yes.
Just don't. Yeah, the goal is to just not strike out here. Basically, any ball put in play scores a run.
Yeah.
Let 0-2 count versus Max Fried, a strikeout starter.
No, stop it.
I'm just saying. Right now, not looking amazing, but
Aguilar's been electric.
he has been though. He has been. If anyone can do it, it's him.
Good take with the off-speed pitch out there that broke into his hands. So it says 1-2 count. We are watching the game. Frank Almanzar is asking, are you guys watching the game? Yes, we're watching the game and just giving our comments here, hanging out with you guys as you guys watch the game as well. Thank you for all of you that are joining us right now. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are producing a lot of content, not only Miami Marlins, also Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Inter Miami, all the Hurricanes also as well, of course, the Miami Hurricanes, and so a little bit of the Gators, just for you Gators fans that are out there too, that deserve a little bit of love as well.
So who would you guys rather play, the Dodgers or the Padres, hypothetically, in the next round?
Whoever comes our way, man. At that point, that's just whoever comes our way.
The Dodgers are just
Too much.
Like, I did the MLB, pick your bracket. I got 7 out of the 8 of the first. The only series I got wrong was the Twins and Astros, I think. But I have the Dodgers going all the way. It just feels like and Jesus Aguilar strikes out. It just feels like one of those, kind of like how the Nationals were last year, where they were there forever, and just finally it was time for them to win. I mean, how many times can this Dodgers team be the best team in the league and not win it all? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got their World Series stolen from the Astros.
Yeah.
So, man, and that Astros story is so unique because this year they would have got booed off the field, if not by their home crowd, by every other crowd, and they got to avoid it. They didn't get hit as much as we thought. But next year they'll get it.
Maybe next year they get it. So Frank Almanzar is driving. Let me see, from Miami to Orlando. So there you go. He's coming back. So this is helpful. So thank you guys for joining. That strikeout, man, with that cutter in the inside. Too bad that Jesus Aguilar couldn't put the ball in play, and now Cooper has to try to get the ball deep, right? A fly ball deep, or why not a 3-run homer? That would be even better.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh my God, I'll be jumping. And Cooper has been one of our most clutch hitters, so I wouldn't put it past him. Okay.
Yeah, 2-1 count here. A ground ball gets the Braves out of the inning, but if it's any consolation at this point, Fried is probably going to get out of this inning, with 50 through 3, puts him on pace for 6 innings. The quicker we get to that bullpen, the better. Again, it's any consolation if we're not to score here. There is a positive. But we did score a double.
What happened? Call the play.
Extra bases.
And Birdie, motor and home.
Double.
High curveball.
3-1, baby.
Cooper pulls it down the line.
Guys.
Sierra scores. Birdie scores walking. And it's 3-1 for the Marlins, who are attacking Max Fried. Max Fried is going to have nightmares with the Marlins hitters. That pitch was way up. You guys can see it there. It's number 4 in your screens, way up. And that was a curveball. So it came all the way up and ended up in the top of the zone right there, and Gary Cooper unleashed that double. So it's 3-1 for the Marlins. Let me watch a replay. Nothing to do to Austin Riley, and the left field was all the way over there. He was so far away, and even though he got there, he didn't have any chance at home plate. Was Birdie running? Let me see. No, he just was so good off contact that he was in there pretty quick. No play at the plate, so it's 3-1 Marlins. And there you go. Sandy Alcantara has the advantage now, and hopefully the Marlins can extend the lead right here. Let me see how hard that ball was hit, and you guys can comment on the play as I'm looking for this, because that ball was rocked too.
And Brian Anderson at bat, he hasn't hit too well this postseason.
0 for 10. 0 for 10. Yep.
Yeah, not too much stress on him right now. I mean, a guy in second, 1 out. This is his time to shine. I feel like that's what every hitter wants. You want 1 out, not too much stress, and a guy in scoring position. So let's see if he makes any good contact.
He's due, right? I mean,
yeah,
it has to have he has to put something on the board eventually.
Yeah, as one of Miami's best hitters, as most people would say,
and just like the law of large numbers,
Yeah,
will eventually mathematically as a professional hitter, an 0 for 10 slump should break eventually.
yeah, for sure. That double by Garrett Cooper, 99.8, so almost 100 miles an hour off the bat of Garrett Cooper, and now Brian Anderson. I mean, per average, a hit is coming, so hopefully it's right here with man on scoring position, and it's not one of those hit when nobody's on base right now. And so most of the time, when you come out of that type of slump, it's with a big hit. So we'll see right now in a, I mean 3-0. I don't know if he's would you no 3-1 now. We'll see if he has the green light with the 3-1 count.
And Miggy Rose on deck, and he's had some success. So you might want to get Anderson some strikes so you don't get him on base.
In the stream I'm watching, there's a chat, and one of the guys in the chat who's a Braves fan was like, the Marlins must have found the Astros trash cans.
Wow. I'll take it.
That's a good joke. Good. That's funny. I mean, we talked about it. They hit Fred in the last.
Let's go.
What happened?
Base hit. He's gonna
finally breaks through.
And that's a line drive to the middle.
Talked about this. We knew it was gonna happen.
It's
Great
Adam
job,
Duvall who cuts the ball. No play at the plate, and it's 4-1 for the Marlins. So you guys said it. It was a matter of percentages, right? A professional hitter, like Christian said, at least hits 20% of the balls fairly. So there you go. It's a base hit for Brian Anderson. He gets out of that little slump that he was in. That was a fastball down the middle, man. Reed is just not locating any pitches right now. He got rocked, and even though Cooper has had to come back to the base because he didn't know if that line drive was going to get caught, he ended up scoring without a throw again. So it's 4-1 for the Marlins, and that ball was rocked. Let me see if it's here too. 103 off the bat of Brian Anderson. They're just killing Max Fried right now. A lot of hard contact.
At what point do you pull him out?
Well,
it's what I told you. I think this is his last batter. If Rojas, okay. Yeah. If with Dickerson coming up next, I still think you keep him in for that AB. But if Dickerson gets on, maybe his last batter. If both of them get on, he's definitely done.
Yeah, it's Jacob Webb warming up in the bullpen. I actually faced that guy in college, Jacob Webb, the only guy that I faced that I see in the majors right now, and he's a reliever for the Braves. And hopefully Miggy can keep this going, because this is the type of inning when you need to make the most out of it. You know how good the Braves offense is, so you can't really rely on a 3-run differential. I know it's a lot for Sandy, and Sandy has been lights out, but you never know. In these type of games, you never know.
All right, so they avoid turning 2. I guess Miggy Rojas got a good head start, took off fast. I don't know how that. I don't even know why he'd make that throw.
It was a slow roller, so that was maybe the reason that they didn't have time to actually make that turn. So it's 2 outs, man on first, and it's Corey Dickerson coming. Friends of 5 is asking, what's the chances we see starting Martin this series? None, because he's not in the roster, so he's not going to play. But maybe for the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers, we'll see him. Right, guys?
I mean, you need him. Do they expand the roster the farther you get? What up?
Yeah, you get to pick a different roster, so he might be in for it.
Right,
I mean, we don't know the exact injury.
Yeah.
We were talking about that day, the second day of the Cup Series. That type of injuries there. If it's a bone broken right there, he's out for a couple of months. So hopefully it's not that, and it's just that he can't really grab the bat the right way, and he's just trying to reduce the swelling there. But if it's bone, he's out for good for this season. Friends of Five says, so we're going to the championship. Okay, thanks. Well, we'll see game by game. We'll go game by game.
Game by game.
Yeah, it's really early. Let's slam the door on this game first, and then maybe we'll talk about the championship.
Yes.
I like being up 1-0, though. That would be real nice on these Braves. With Sixto coming for game 2. That's pretty exciting.
Pablo for game 2.
Oh, will it be Pablo?
Yes.
Right?
Pablo is starting game 2 against Ian Anderson. That's going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. as well.
Such a veteran move. I say it every time he's up and has 2 strikes, but for Corey Dickerson to choke up like that just shows team ball. Not looking for the long ball. Knows his job. I love it.
So fly ball to left field, and that's the end of the 3rd inning for the Marlins. 3 runs, so it's a 4-1 lead for the Miami Marlins. A double by Garrett Cooper and a base hit by Brian Anderson, and the Marlins are winning 4-1 in the middle of the 3rd. We thought it was going to be more of a pitching matchup, and we'll see now what happens in the second part of the game. But for now, it's been a lot of hard hit balls. We were tracking this here, and let's check from both teams. We had, of course, the Ronald Acuña home run was the hardest so far, but Jesus Aguilar hit the ball hard in the 1st inning. You can see it there in the bottom. Then Cooper hit the ball hard as well in that error throw by Austin Riley. Then the home run by Acuña. Freddie Freeman hit a ground ball that was soft. Rojas came back with a home run. That was a hard hit ball too. Corey Dickerson as well. And then Adam Duvall hit one hard grounder to Alcantara, Cooper, and then Anderson in this inning. So they both teams have been hitting the ball pretty hard in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. Now it's it will be interesting to see what Sandy can do with the lead.
So what do you guys think about this comment? This team looks very similar to the 05 team without the hitting, of maybe 03 team. Do you guys feel our young pitching, particularly Sixto, Lopez, and Alcantara, can carry this team further in the playoffs?
Yeah.
The answer to that question is yes. All 3 of those guys are phenomenal. And we have some really young, we have Trevor Rogers for the 4, and I think there's enough rest. If we get to Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 of other series, where we can go Sandy, Sixto, Pablo again. Do I think this year they are at their peak? No. I think in 3 years, these three guys are going to be the talk of the league. We didn't get much hype this year as the team, even when we were rallying, even when we were pushing for the playoffs. We did not get any hype. No one looked at these 3 guys and were like, oh. But now, after this, they will be. They'll get that respect that they deserve, and we'll see even more success in future years. So if it's not this year, it's the next, and if it's not the next, it's the next. Right future for these 3 guys, and they have the capability to carry a World Series level team.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro Lopez, we haven't seen him yet in the postseason, so I mean, I feel like it's a little bit early to say what he is. He also had a really short season. Last year he had some bright spots when he came in and when he first started, and then he kind of slowed down and had a pretty high ERA. So, these guys, we're still learning about who they are. I think the best, our best pitcher is Sixto because few have seen him. There's not too much tape out on him, and eventually these guys are going to figure, other hitters are going to figure them out. And then that's when the pitchers evolve the most because, okay, well, now, you have adversity and you got to figure out now how to be even better of a pitcher. So there's still going to be some growing pains. These guys are not aces, but what they're doing right now is they're exceeding expectations for sure.
100%. I think we expected all this to happen. Like what is happening now, we expected to happen 2-3 years. Even the fact that they get this postseason experience right now is super, super important for in 2 to 3 years. Because if we're doing this now that we're a better free agent destination, people see the culture, they see what's going on. We put some bats around these 3 arms, and we're looking at a perennial World Series contender.
Oh, BA gets in front of Miggy out at first.
All right, so ground ball to third, and Austin Riley's out 5-3 to begin the third inning. And here we go to the second time through the lineup for Sandy Alcantara. He has to be or stay aggressive. He's been aggressive all throughout this the first couple of innings. That fastball in was just too fast for Riley's hands. And now it's a time to see how they're going to work with Acuña, right? In this at bat after he unleashed that 428 feet bomb to right center field in the first inning with a fastball outside. They're going with the breaking ball slider to start that bat right in the corner. What happened?
Oh, it plunked him.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm okay with that. I'm fine
with it too.
Nah, but
because
he's talking.
No, but you know what?
If he charges the mound, he could be suspended a couple of games.
No, but you know what?
Oh.
After that, off speed, the first pitch.
He clearly
that's fine. You have to go in
at
with the fastball. That's what I'm saying. You can't let them hit the ball they want to hit. The guy just hit a home run with the fastball outside. You have to go in at some point. I know that was not on purpose. It looks like it, and we know. I mean, I don't even know how many times the Marlins have hit Ronald Acuña.
He was putting up his hands 5 times. Like he pointed. He was turning to the Marlins. So he was like, "You hit us." He hit me 5 times. Honestly, 4 of those have been Acuña, and I mean,
Ureña.
4 of those have been Arena. It's just I just don't think
5 times
a far away first pitch slider out the way. Clearly, he's not trying to hit him. He would have hit him on the first pitch to conserve pitch count. Clearly not intentional. The Braves are just stretching because they're losing. They're looking for something to push them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing.
I'm interested to see now if the Braves retaliate. I hope not.
Don Mattingly just does not care.
Yeah. And it's funny because the Braves are the team in baseball. Well, I don't know because when they had McCain especially, but they are the unspoken rules leaders of Major League Baseball, where you got to play a certain way, and and in this case we're beating them at that game. We're like, I don't care, man. We're gonna hit whoever. And they got
what a season from Freddie Freeman, man. Wow, that stat line is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I had him in fantasy baseball, so I enjoy him.
Yeah, you know what? You have to understand the game sometimes. I know Acuña is frustrated, but think a little bit. The Marlins just got up in the score, right? They're up 3 runs. They don't want nobody on base right now. You have to understand sometimes the game and understand when it makes sense and when it doesn't. No, you know what? If you're gonna do it, you do it later in the game when the game's already open, or later in the series. You don't have to do it right away. And if you're gonna do it, you don't do it so early in the game. To
just in a playoff game.
Give
Just
Freddie
don't do
Freeman
that.
the opportunity.
He pimped out his home run.
That's
okay?
fine.
That's why he got
fine.
hit.
You can do whatever.
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't think it was.
You
don't give up outs in a playoff game.
No, especially having Freddie Freeman after him. You don't want Freddie Freeman hitting with anybody on base right now. That's not the way.
There would have been a good chance Acuña would have got on anyways. And now he's afraid to hit going forward. I think it's a good shot.
Believe me, he's not going to be afraid of hitting. He's just.
I don't think Acuña is scared. He's been hit four times already. Freeman to left center, caught by Sierra, so 2 down.
There you go.
Again, you just don't put guys on base when Freddie Freeman and Marcelo Zuna are coming up.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Guys,
that's not a smart way.
Come on.
Listen, I'm telling you, I play baseball. I know when in this type of things, I know if you're mad, fine. There's a time to do this type of things.
In the regular season, totally fine. Not in the NLDS.
I play
baseball. Third inning, too early to be giving away free bases. I don't think that's. And if you're gonna do it, look at where the pitch hit Acuña. Hits him in the butt cheek, right? That's not a place you use to actually hit a guy. If you're actually mad at him, you go to the ribs. That's the place where you go to.
I don't know, man. I think. Oh well. Anyways, he scored. So.
Okay, so that's Marcelo Zuna with a double, and he ends up scoring Ronald Acuña from first base, and this is why we're telling you can't give free bases away, especially so early in the game. So I think it was against a slider. I have to look that up. Let me see. Yeah, slider that didn't move very much, and it stayed over the plate, and the Braves got the lead to only 2 runs.
Just like that.
And that ball, I mean, although it was hit pretty hard, it could have been caught by Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson almost got it.
I feel like Anderson was playing closer to the base because Miggy was upset at the last one he stole from him, the last infield out that he got. And I feel like he's trying to reclaim his territory. But they got to allow, Anderson can grab whatever he wants, although the shortstop has the most ground. If Anderson feels he can step in and he has a lot of territory, he should continue to do it. But I think he was playing too close to the bag there. That's upsetting. I'm a little pissed. Well, at least it's 2 outs. 1 run is not too much damage.
Travis d'Arnaud, quite the hitter, though, so we'll see.
He really hasn't been his whole career. He was like a top prospect coming into the league and then never really panned out. Maybe this year he's doing well, but I don't think he's somebody to fear. We'll find out.
I think he had a good year last year too. I could be wrong though. He he came into the league. Yeah, he struggled for a long while. Then he had a pretty good year last year. I mean, he had 270. 270. Whoa, gosh. Well, okay. So 4-3. Travis d'Arnaud doubles.
Damn.
But yeah, he had 270 last year with like 20 bombs and 70 RBIs.
There you go.
Damn.
That's a hard hit ball. So it's 4-3 now. Another double, and this is why you don't want to wake up these guys. It's 4-3.
Yeah.
Doubles, and just like that, it's a 1-run game, real fast, real quick. The Braves are
now you don't want to have to go to the bullpen too early if you're the Marlins, but he's got to get his inning now. Wow. Yeah, backfired hitting Acuña for sure. But that's the meat of their lineup. 1 through 4, I guess, in this case.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be on. We're gonna get the 5-hitter here. Who's hitting 5th for them?
Albies.
Yeah.
So look at that. Travis Darnot 107.8 miles an hour off the bat, and Ozuna that double 99.1. So like we said, it hasn't been a pitching duel today. It's been more of a hitting afternoon over there at Minute Maid Park.
Good pitch. Again, we're just seeing how Sandy responds.
Do you know if Fried's coming back for next inning?
He should be. By the looks of it in the dugout, he seemed pretty up and antsy. He's up right now. That's him.
Yeah.
He'll definitely be back.
Yeah, especially now with the game's a lot closer in hand.
Yeah,
He's
there's no
around
point.
60 pitches, so yeah.
You just let him go till he hits 100. I think that's kind of the benchmark in the playoffs, to not overextend, but to also, keep it so that Fried, if we get to a Game 5, can pitch, and so that Sandy, if we get to a Game 5, can pitch.
Man. So Acuña's had his fingerprints all over this game.
Yes, sir.
He sure has.
And if you see Ozuna's numbers this year, I think he led the National League in home runs, and I think he only signed a 1-year deal with the Braves, so he's due to make a lot of money. He's gonna make $200 million maybe next, sign a contract long term with maybe like the Twins or something. Whoever wants to spend money.
Yeah. Ozuna's putting himself in a good situation to make money.
Yeah, the Twins got Josh Donaldson in the offseason. They took it from the Braves, and then Donaldson didn't even make their postseason roster. So it was actually a pretty solid move that Atlanta signed last minute. They signed Ozuna. And at the time, they thought they overpaid, or we thought they overpaid. I think he's getting like $15 million this year. All right, he's out of the inning. Albies.
Okay, ground ball to first base to Garrett Cooper against a pretty slow changeup in the inside. So it's a 2-run inning for the Braves, and the Marlins are up 4-3 after 3 complete games. There you go. We're watching again the replay. Acuña complaining about the 5 times the Marlins have hit him, and then him scoring from first base and that double by Ozuna.
They love Acuña. I'll tell you that. MLB has posted like 3 times on their Instagram for Acuña. Tends to be the
making me cringe over there.
Tends to be the.
We're up 1-0, so let's do that.
Actually, no, they gave us 2 posts and the Braves only 1. But you know for sure that him getting hit is going to get a post in like these.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
And the stock market just dropped 400 points, by the way, because the stimulus. They said the stimulus is not going to be until after the election, which we need. Anybody watching the Heat game tonight?
We'll be on.
All watching it. And by the way, we're doing a live thing too for the Heat, so you guys better join us. We're gonna be here for the pregame, and then we're gonna start for the. We're gonna stay for the entire game here, doing a similar party here. So you can join us during the game too. The Miami Heat, Game 4 of the NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Bam is questionable, right? Bam is questionable. Goran's
Bam is
out.
questionable. He's probably not gonna play, but we'll see what happens.
And Goran's just out, right?
Goran, yeah, he looks like he's not a real possibility, but you never know, man. They're so tricky with these kind of things that you always expect to see what happens. But I don't think they're gonna play tonight.
I think Bam plays
Tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just what I think. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I think he does play. And his comments, though, he's basically said he's missed like 1 or 2 games his whole career, so it shows that he'll play with bruises. So it just shows, him not being able to play in the finals, how much of an injury this could be. But it's his neck is what they're saying. So I don't know if he has a stiff neck or what. But, this is a must-win. Again, every game's a must-win.
Yeah.
But you also don't want him in there if he's 50%. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, and you don't want him to get injured in a worse way,
Yeah.
right? Get a
Yeah,
worse
because the
injury.
season actually starts earlier. I mean, it's going to be in January. They're saying the season starts, and we're in, so only get a couple of months off.
All right, we're going to the top of the fourth. Well, that was a quick out. Luis brings some grounds out to Ozzy Albies to start the fourth
Wow.
inning.
Wow.
So
That
That was a great play by Albies.
Yeah.
let's see the replay. I'm watching the pitch right now. It was an inside pitch. He went inside out, and Brinson dove on first base and almost got that infield hit there. Oh,
He's done that.
they're interviewing Don Mattingly. Let me see if they ask me about the hit by pitch. So you guys can talk.
They should hit Acuña again.
Bro, let's do it 3 times. Let's just hit him repeatedly.
It didn't
Never
work
let him
out.
win.
It didn't work out. Imagine if they would have doubled him up. That would have been so good. Instead, Marcel and Darnaud, Leonardo, whatever his name is, Travis
Darno and Marcelo Ozuna came up clutch.
for real. One out. BA. So, do you guys see anybody getting any contracts like from the Marlins after this year, like any extensions or like, and who would be the first guy you think?
It's tough to say. Who even is on like contract here? Who would be?
I feel like Brian Anderson would
Oh,
probably.
BA 100%. I think you just lock up the two who bought in.
Okay. The Don Mattingly's over. He said what we were saying. They didn't want nobody on base. They were trying to pitch him in. That's where they have had some success against him. So that's why they went in, and it just got away a little bit. So that's it. And that interview came right straight on time, right? They're supposed to happen anyway in the fourth inning. That's just set up, but it was perfect because it came right after what happened on the field. So there you go.
Yeah.
You have Mattingly's opinion. And we've seen it. That's the way to get Acuña high and in, and trying not to let him extend his arms, because he just destroys the ball in the outside of the plate.
Damn, Albies broke his belt. On that
Oh wow, Albies with another phenomenal play.
Wow.
Another one.
Yeah. He's nice, man. He got injured this year, but he's one of their best players. I mean, he was supposed to be like their second best hitter behind Acuña. What's the question you got on the board?
So it said, who would have thought this year would be a great season for Miami sports? Hitting the finals, Miami in the NLDS, Biscayne Boulevard would be lit up right now under normal circumstances. And then it says, and so there is their inning. Marlins ranked third in league scoring runs in the fourth inning. There you go.
I like that stat.
A little quick note. So Ozzy Albies making plays, right? That was a base hit for Chad Wallach. We were talking about hitting the ball hard, and Chad Wallach did that in that at bat. That was 106 miles an hour off the bat of Wallach, and that should have been a base hit. And it's just because Albies is there. I don't know how many second basemen can make that play. We know Eddie Alvarez can do it, but I don't know how many more can do it in the majors.
I mean, there were 2 hits taken away by Albies this inning, both out.
Yeah.
Brinson hit the ball hard too.
Yeah, Miami's lineup is hitting him pretty well today. Like, they're not fazed by him at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides that Aguilar strikeout, but BA fixed it for us.
And Sierra again with a great swing off the bat.
It drops.
Nice. Doubles here. This could be a good add-on.
All right, Sierra. Hey, he's making up for Marte's production, or not so much in the middle of the order, but
he's doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah.
If you can get the guys on the bottom of the order on base, That is so valuable. It's not anticipated, and not having having the DH it has really helped the Marlins this year offensively.
Yes, sir.
I love the DH now in the American League. It makes the game just more fun to watch. No automatic strikeouts. The strategy changes a bit.
So it's the perfect situation for the Marlins. Man in scoring position, 2 outs. And no, that's not Brian Snicker. That's the pitching coach coming out. Fried is at 69 pitches, and you said you see Darren O'Day warming up in the Braves bullpen, but he's not working very fast, fast pace. So I don't know. They're maybe just trying to review what the plan is going to be against John Birdie, because after Birdie you have Aguilar, and that's a guy you don't want to face again with the men on.
I don't know if you guys play MLB The Show, but Darren O'Day, when you're playing Diamond Dynasty, which is like my team on MLB The Show, Darren O'Day is the best budget reliever in the game, without a doubt.
There you go.
Doesn't mean he's the best reliever in the game, but he is the best budget reliever.
No. He's not better than Nick Anderson.
So ground
Who's
ball.
the other guy? Pat Neshek. Pat Neshek was also the other guy.
Pat Neshek. Yeah. He's retired.
Slow curveball by Fried, ground ball to third, and that's the end of the inning for the Marlins. So shutdown inning for Max Fried after a couple of rough innings against the Marlins, and the Marlins are up 4-3 after 3.5 innings on Minute Maid Park. Very interesting game, man. It's been just like the series all throughout the year, right? It's been runs here, runs there, and hit by pitches and running and so many things going on, and it's been an exciting series all year during the regular season and now translated into the postseason.
Yeah, and you got to like that the Miami's winning. So technically they're up 1-0, which is nice, and Sandy's still pitching, which is nice. Let's see how the middle, relief comes in, and if we'll see a new guy, because we had Boxberger and then Kinsler. So let's see who they try to throw in, and we saw Yimi Garcia too. Let's see if we see somebody else new eventually.
Yeah, that inning could have gone a lot differently. It definitely 2 basically hits stolen by Albies. Sierra comes up, doubles. If even one of them get on, we score a run there.
That's true, especially the Chad Wallach line drive, man. He just crushed that ball, and it was just straight to where Albies was playing, because the Brinson ground ball was really weak. You guys can see it there, 80 miles an hour off the bat. It just needed a little bit more placement right to the right, so it would have been a base hit. With Brinson on first, for sure, we scored a run there with that line drive by Magneuris Sierra. With Wallach, I don't know. I will have to see it, but maybe. All right, let me see. This is their inning. Okay, we read this message already. So Sandy Alcantara is back on the mound. He's going to face, again, the Braves lineup. The Marlins are winning 4-3, and we're going to the bottom of the 4th. It's been a little bit more active in the base path than we thought it was going to be, but a very interesting game so far. In the first game of the National League Division Series, he's going to face Dansby Swanson as the first hitter of the inning, and we'll see what he can do. This is a very important inning. After the Braves got mad with the Marlins, scored those runs, this is an inning to calm them down, right? To really stop the bleeding right there.
Yeah, and back.
That's it. And we saw Brian Sneaker talking to Max Fried. I don't know if that's it for him. It might be after 4 innings. Especially if the Braves want to use him later in the series. He gave his best so far. I don't know if he's going to come out again. It's weird to watch the manager actually talking to the pitcher during an outing. He might do it after he's done pitching. But during the outing, I don't know. I haven't seen it before. I don't know if Fritz will be back. He hasn't put his jacket on, so he might still be ready to pitch at least to the next batter, right? Because or the next inning, even though O'Day looks ready to open, right?
By the looks of where he's standing,
Ooh,
he still seems engaged. Like it looks like Fried will be coming back out at least for a batter. At least from my experience as a pitcher, you don't get up there. Yeah. You're not up there watching the game like that when you got pulled. So maybe Fried just has really amazing leadership skills, but I'm gonna assume it's the fact that he's still in the game.
So a strikeout for Swanson, a very beautiful slider in the outside of the plate, and that's the first out of the inning for Sandy. And now at Duval, this is a dangerous guy here. This guy can hit, and especially against the Marlins. So this is a very important out here for Alcantara as he goes through the back end of this Braves lineup. Most in last 13 starts for Max Fried, 4 earned runs today. And the Marlins have had, I mean, if you count the last inning of the regular season, that's 5 innings and 6 runs for the Marlins against Max Fried. So I guess they know something that the rest of the league doesn't know.
That's what happens when you scout the Braves as much as they do, because they see him so many times. They're in the same division. Ooh, another strikeout.
98 at the bottom of the zone, and that's a strikeout for Sandy Alcantara. Sandy, I like the way Sandy's been so aggressive. He needs to keep attacking hitters. That's the way to go and get him. If you try to pitch too much around them, they're still going to find a way to hurt you. So there you have Nick Markakis hitting with nobody on, and a very important inning. If Sandy can shut them down and then get the Marlins to hit again, and especially with the middle of the lineup for the Marlins coming up against Fried or whoever the Braves decide to pitch in that next inning, is going to be huge.
Good swing by Markakis there. Single to left. Took a really good pitch by Sandy and just beat him. Not much Sandy could have done different there.
Yeah, changeup in the outside, right? Yes, changeup. And very similar to the first hit that Sierra had today, just waiting for the pitch, dropping the hands, and letting that ball drop in front of left fielder Corey Dickerson. Okay, Austin Riley now. Power hitter. He hasn't hit the way the Braves think he can hit, but still a very dangerous hitter in the 9th spot for them.
100%. I mean, this entire Braves lineup is dangerous. It's kind of like the opposite of what we saw in Chicago.
Yeah, they're all
every
hot.
Pitcher in Chicago is dangerous. It's going to be every hitter in Atlanta is dangerous.
Yeah, Austin Riley, though, I think he was like a number 1 overall pick or something, or like he was definitely a first rounder, but he hasn't really panned out. And same thing with Dansby Swanson. I mean, those guys had high expectations, and although I mean they had the support on their lineup, but they're supposed to be producing, and Riley not so much.
Dansby hasn't been that bad, has he? I'm pretty sure
he was pretty good this year. I think he batted like 280 or something like that. But I mean, for what for being, I think Dansby was like number 1 overall. But for being a number 1 overall, you gotta be all-star.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he had one good year where he hit 3. No, that's his on-base percentage. Oh wow. Dansby Swanson has not had the best.
Yeah, it's really panned out
career up to this point. Maybe it's just my memory of the defensive plays he's made. He's been a very good defensive player. I know that.
Our friend Danzo says Marlins in Cup Series had base runners in 14 of 18 innings. Today, base runners in all 4 innings. They're in every game. Yeah, hopefully they can keep scoring, because against this Braves lineup, you guys saw how good they are and how quick they are to react, and they can score runs real fast. Sandy Alcantara, 99 miles an hour. That was that last fastball in the outside that Riley just fouled up. It's been this is a great challenge for Sandy, right? It's one of the best lineups in the league. Sandy trying to come back at him. First time they facing this year.
And Sandy's got to be fresh. I mean, he didn't pitch. Oh man.
My God! Look at that base hit.
All right, it's still 2 outs though. He can get out of this.
Little check swing, and he got that ball through in between the first base.
And then you got Acuña
and Gary Cooper, and this is another great at bat. Sandy Alcantara versus Ronald Acuña, third time.
Oh boy!
Oh man, this is not the guy we want up right now, guys.
Hey, throw it at him.
Way up baseball. Here we go.
See, this is a situation where I condone beating him, but to be honest, I don't because Freddie Freeman's up next.
Yeah.
Like, who do you even want?
Those guys are both elite.
Yeah.
And then you have Ozuna. Like, this is not going to be an easy set of.
You got to have. I mean, Acuña, he struck out. He struck out 4 times in a game before, like this year. So I mean, he will swing. You just gotta get some movement on these pitches.
We need one of those. Okay, first pitch of that bat. Ooh, that breaking ball was down the middle, and Acuña just missed it. That was what, a slider? Yes, slider. Let me see. They're replaying. I mean, Waller was set up in the inside. It's just
it definitely went away a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the second pitch of that bat is right now. I'm watching that game. I'm not watching the game day because that gives it away. Let's do this so you guys don't get a clue before it happens. Another slider down in the zone.
Right here, you got to go hot. You got to go up and in. You got to make him swing at a high fastball.
Yes, up and in. I like
100% the call here. You cannot. After he saw 2 off-speed pitches, he likes everything away. You go up and in. You take him out of his comfort zone.
I like it.
Oh, he's setting up low. Looks like we're going to see an off-speed pitch, low and away. You can't go. You cannot go. I just don't know if you can go 4 breaking balls in a row. Like, I think you can go to a high fastball here and then go back to the break.
Hey, that was a change of 90 miles an hour, and Alcantara almost threw a wild pitch, and that would have led the Braves score anyway. So we'll see what they decide now. I'm with Christian. I would go with high cheese right now, especially throwing 99, man. Go up and see if he can catch up. That's good. But Acuña has struggled there up in the zone, especially inside. That's a pitch that you want him to go after. So we'll see what happens here. Don't say anything, Ryan. What happened? No, don't tell me. Here's the Alcantara pitch. And struck him out. A fastball down the middle. A little stare down. I like it. This is postseason baseball. And Sandy Alcantara just got Ronald Acuña in a great at-bat. And the Marlins are up 4-3 after 4 innings at Minute Maid Park. Man, these 4 innings have been so intense. Oh, my God. Good.
Wow. I mean, great job getting out of that inning. And now going into next inning, it's not that bad. You don't have to see Acuña anymore. And so you got Freeman and the rest of the gang, but at least you got Acuña out, and also striking out Acuña has got to do something for your confidence if you're Sandy, especially after he hit him and also after giving up that home run. So if Sandy happens to see him again, I think he'll be able to go at him again with confidence.
Oh, they'll see him again, I'm sure.
Well, I'm saying Sandy.
After 4 innings, Sandy has 43 pitches. Let me show you guys here the actual stats.
I think Sandy's at 60, no?
Well, according to Baseball Savant, it's 63 pitches, 33, 14 fastballs, 16 sliders. We saw a lot of them in this at-bat, in this last at-bat against Ronald Acuña. 6 changeups, 5 sinkers, and 3 curveballs. And he struck out Acuña with a fastball, 98 miles an hour. And it was down the middle. It wasn't that far away. We saw it. Let me see. Well, they don't have it here again. So it's Darren O'Day coming for the Braves. So that was it for Max Fried. 4 innings, 4 earned runs, and he would be losing this game if it ends up this way right now. And it's Darren O'Day for the Braves coming from the bullpen.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they did switch out Fried. Okay.
Good.
What we like to see. Quicker we get to the bullpen, the better.
Yep. Because I mean, I'll just explain why. Bullpen to have trustworthy pitchers, it's seldom. So if Miami can overwork their bullpen, it's going to force their starters to have to pitch more innings in the future games, and that only helps Miami.
Yeah, starting at Game 3, we're actually going to want to see the starters longer. I mean, who even is the Braves' third guy? I mean, we think Max Fried and Ian Anderson, and even Ian Anderson isn't like the most dominating force ever. We've beaten him. Who's their guy?
Let me check real quick. But
I genuinely just don't even know.
It's Kyle Wright.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And then they have Cole Hamels though.
No, he's injured. So.
He is. Oh yeah, 68. All right, my bad. Mark Melicone, he's pretty solid. If we see him.
Melanson, yeah, very good closer.
Ooh, look at Albies. Man, Albies he's one of those players that you just enjoy watching, right? Look at that ball that he just caught from Aguilar. They're not used to playing in this ballpark, neither of these two teams.
Whoa,
and
that was
the roof is closed, and so it's a different scenario for all of them. And he just caught a ball.
He made that look so easy.
Yes, facing center field all the way, like all the way, like he's back to the plate, and he just looked like he was playing in his garden. I don't know. He just made it look so easy.
I mean, at this point of the game, you just got to protect the lead. This is where you kind of have to swing for home runs if there's nobody on base, especially, and Sandy's gonna give us maybe one more inning. You would think? You think he goes 7?
I think he can go 7. He's only at 60 pitches. He can go 8 realistically.
I hope.
Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. It's the top of the 5th. He can go 7 realistically. He'll most likely go 6.
Yeah, and the bullpen had a lot of days to recover, so they can throw their top 8 arms today, and because they need to get this win right now. It's every time you're up in the 5th inning, it's one of those games that you can't let go, especially with that bullpen that the Marlins have. Frank Almanza is just throwing fire here. Maybe he just watched Alcantara striking out Acuña. That was a great at bat, man. That had the feel, that playoff feeling right to it. And it was just the 4th inning of the first game of the series. So that's when you'll seatbelts because you're gonna have fun in this one.
Man, Darren O'Day had quite the year this year.
Talk about it. I don't like his windup. Ooh.
Just think about a hitter hitting that, though. That can't be a fun.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. So strikeout for Garrett Cooper right on the edge of the strike zone, right on the outside corner. Perfect pitch in a 1-2 count, and Garrett Cooper has to go back to the dugout.
That was a ball, but it's whatever. It was slightly off, very close. Garrett
Yeah,
Cooper.
it's too close to take. That's
how many innings do you think O'Day can pitch? You think he goes 2 innings?
2, especially if his pitch count's like under 10 through 1 inning.
Right. Okay.
He's never been a long relief guy, I don't think. Maybe he has.
Yeah, the Braves, man, they had Sean Newcomb, and then they had the Fulty-Chewitz or whatever, Mike Fulty.
Fulty-Newicks, yeah. They let him go.
Like early in the season. But he was like their number 3 starter.
Right.
And nobody picked him up.
Nope.
That's a weird situation.
Something happened there, yeah.
It's weird. It's strange that they didn't get any starters. That's how you know the Braves are gonna go home. Whether it's this series or the next one, you can't rely on Max Fried every just to get you one win. I don't know.
Max Fried 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. They're not prepared for the postseason, man. So I'm sorry, Atlanta. Ooh.
All right, so Brian Anderson goes the other way, and he gets a base hit. We got a couple of base hits in a row for Brian Anderson. He's coming back for it against a fastball in his first at bat, bringing in a run, and now against the curveball in the outside against the very uncomfortable Darren O'Day
Yeah.
coming from some way. He's like sideways or a submarine. It's a weird motion there for Darren O'Day. So 2 outs. What would you guys do? Would you guys run with Brian Anderson, or would you just let Miguel Rojas hit? Because against this type of pitchers, you just have to wait for first movement because he has to go all the way down and then throw the ball. So you have a little bit more time to actually get a better jump. And Anderson can run. He's a decent
Yeah.
runner.
It all comes, in my opinion, it all comes down to how healthy Anderson is. If he can run, you run.
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
damn. That's an elite play there. Good job, Freddie Free. Well, that's the inning.
That's the inning. Yes, that's it. Great play by Freddie Freeman diving to his right. That was a base hit for Rojas.
Wow.
Oh man, and he also jumped. Not only diving, but he jumped like up. Great play by Freddie Freeman. That's why he's gonna be the MVP this year. He can do it all. So it's 4 innings and a half, and the Marlins are up 4-3. Great game to be watching with you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us here. I know it's not easy in the middle of the week. Tuesday afternoon, these times are crazy. And the Marlins are playing the playoffs. So guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel because we're going to be giving you guys a lot of Marlins content, Miami Heat content, Dolphins content, Hurricanes content. All the Miami teams are here in 5 reasons. Half of the game, guys. How do you guys feel about this one?
I like being up. I like also that it's not like a 1-0 game. It shows Miami's lineup is capable of scoring runs in bunches, and that's early in the series. That's very optimistic. It helps you be optimistic that they can continue to do that throughout.
Yeah, I think we're in a good situation. We're still up 4-3, and we've had now at this point between Albies and Freeman 5 hits stolen from us. That's like 5 ABs that turned into outs that very well could have been hits. We're swinging the bats well, which is good. And Sandy still looks good. 3 runs in 4 innings isn't the best, but versus Braves team, you take what you can get. And it's going to come down to what the bullpen does. And if the bullpen does normal Miami bullpen things, we'll be in good shape. But
yeah, and
the Braves, not an easy thing.
You have to also be excited about Brian Anderson coming out of that slump too, getting hits in his last 2 at bats after going 0-10, like you said.
Yeah,
that's very important, especially having Starling Marte out. Okay, we've had 4 innings by Sandy Alcantara. 2 of them were complicated, especially the one before this one. So we'll see what happens now. Sandy Alcantara facing the middle of the lineup. Freddie Freeman, Marcelo Zuna, and Travis Dornad, the 3 guys that can really mash. So we'll see what happens now in this 5th inning, the first game of the National League Division Series between the Marlins and the Braves. It's a 1-1 count already, even though I'm still in commercials here for some reason. Come on, Fox, put the game on. There you go. They came straight to the first pitch. That one was a strike, but the count is actually 1-1. You guys can see it there in our screen. And Sandy Alcantara gets Freddie Freeman with the changeup. We'll see.
Wow, great play in center by Sierra. Really good swing by Freddie Freeman.
So it was a changeup in the middle of the plate, 9 miles an hour, and Sierra going back, caught the ball in the beginning of the track. So that was a good play by Magneuris Sierra, just robbing what could have been an extra base for Freddie Freeman. So a lot of good plays. They're showing Ozzy Albies plays right now, but we've seen not only Albies, Freeman, also Sierra right now. It's been a game that has had a little bit of everything right now.
Man,
Okay,
Sandy's
Sparks.
heating up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say
it seems
that
like
again?
it's getting stronger.
Yeah, Sandy's heating up.
All right. That last pitch was 98 in the middle of the zone, and he's attacking players. He's not going away from the challenge. It's
Oh.
a great matchup today between this starting pitcher and this
The Braves
Braves
lineup.
lineup right now that it's just hitting the ball so well. So it's a 2-2 count. It's been mostly fastballs and sliders from Alcantara. We saw how in the last at bat, Ozuna had a one breaking ball hanging, and he smashed it to left field to bring the second run uh, of the Braves today, the first one of that inning. Ooh, and that same pitch, he just missed it. Ozuna, that was a slider in the zone, high, belt high, and he just missed that pitch. You have to go back to your fastball, man.
And he did. Ozuna just fouled it off, but Ozuna's always struggled. Low and away. I think
You have to go fastball up, and then if you're gonna throw that slider, it has to go down and away, like you say.
99.
$99 in the hands. That's good. And right
great.
here, I would go with a 3-2 slider in the outside. We'll see what Alcantara does to Marcel. You guys have it first. What happened there?
Sinker low and away struck him out, or low and in, struck him out. That was that a changeup? It was moving in. It was either circle change or a sinker. I didn't see the MPH on it, but it's a great hit.
It was 92 miles an hour, so that's his changeup. But there you go. It's the changeup grip. So that's an awesome pitch right there.
Wow, and a broken bat single immediately for Travis d'Arnaud.
Damn.
That takes strength to do that.
And you are ahead of all of us. Wow.
So broken bat base hit, and we're going through the strikeouts by Sandy. How many he has? Like 6 already?
7.
7 strikeouts already.
It's nice.
Other than that particular inning, I think he lost a little bit of the control, the mind control when he hit Acuña and he got into that arcing to each other. He lost it a little bit, but after that, he's been good.
Yeah. Even striking out, Acuña probably helped him out too. He got his redemption. Do you guys foresee the Marlins paying for like a real legit number one starter, or you think Sandy will be Miami's number one starter?
If you're gonna pay,
number one starter.
If you're gonna pay, I would go to pay for a hitter, for a couple of hitters, because the Marlins need more offense. But I think pitching is fine. Oof, that was a nasty, nasty changeup. So that's it for the 5th inning. Another strikeout for Sandy Alcantara, and that's 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. That last one, man, the movement, the down movement in that changeup was just nasty. And the Marlins are up after 5 complete innings. We'll see, and we'll get soon the presence of our friend David Fernandez, who's going to join us for the second part of the game. And here we can see the pitch usage by Sandy Alcantara: 78 pitches, 38 fastballs, and he's been awesome, just striking guys out. And like I was saying, that before or after that inning, he's been lights out, and hopefully he can continue this trend going forward. David, our friend, welcome to our party here. The Marlins are winning this game, but it's been a very intense one right now.
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's been a little wild here. I was at work and then listening to the game on the way home, and cycling through Twitter. in the car, at red lights, of course, not while I'm driving. But yeah, I mean, Sandy's doing ace level things, right? Getting the strikeouts like you mentioned, and other than that one inning, where he hit Acuña and then things got away from him a little bit. It's all that they could ask for, right? I mean, he's hitting his spots for the most part. It sounds like the Braves had a lot of like bloop singles and what was it, a broken bat one in that last inning, and the Austin Riley's hit that got by Cooper at first, so Acuña destroyed a ball.
Yeah.
Other than that, they haven't really done done much against him, I guess. So, you like to hear that, and then obviously the Marlins offense getting going early here in this one is it's really important. Much better than the Cubs games, right, where we had to wait till the seventh.
Yeah, for real.
So,
David, what are your thoughts on hitting Acuña? Was that intentional or not intentional?
I mean, I would normally say not intentional, but wasn't it the first pitch of the at bat?
No.
Second. He threw first slider.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, if it was the first pitch of the at bat, then it was definitely intentional. But
hey, they were beating up on me. They're saying I'm crazy for thinking it's intentional. Basically, I don't know baseball.
You know what? The Marlins just got 3 runs. You're trying to get through the hardest part of the lineup. There's 1 out, nobody on base, and then you see it started a rally for the Braves, and that's what you don't want. You don't want to wake those guys up.
No, I get it. I get the logic, and it makes sense to me for sure from a logical perspective. But when you take into account the history plus the bat flip
You go.
I did get to see that before I left work today, so that wasn't great. And then just it was probably one of those sorry not sorry moments. Like he threw it. And he was like, if it hits him, it hits him. If it doesn't, I'm gaining some space on the inner half of the plate or whatever.
There you go. There you go.
But
it backfired. It backfired.
Yeah. I think if you put some truth serum on Sandy, that's he's going to admit to having plunked Acuña on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, and, but now they have to be really careful pitching. Like they warned both sides, right? So
yep.
Yeah, and Mattingly was interviewed right in the next half of the inning, and he said that. I mean, we had success against him pitching inside, and that's where we're going to keep going, because if not, he's going to hit the ball and destroy the ball, like you said. So it's a Matzek, new pitcher for the Braves here in the top of the 6th, and it's Corey Dickerson starting things off for the Marlins. Well, not starting anything off. He struck out with a 98 mile an hour fastball. Now everybody throws 98. It's just crazy. So first out of the inning, and the Marlins are up with 1 out, and you guys can continue. Lose Brinson. Hopefully he can get something going now.
Listen, it's a huge key for the Marlins to have scored early, because the Braves bullpen has been awesome this year. I mean, they have the second lowest bullpen ERA in the NL this year. They had a 3.50 ERA. I mean, even in the bullpen games when the Marlins were facing the Braves during the year, they really, really struggled to put up runs against the Braves bullpen. They've got some power arms there, obviously. So to be clinging to this 1-run lead here, I think is really important for the Marlins, considering, how good Atlanta's bullpen has been.
Yeah. They don't have the starting pitching, though, and past Max Fried today. If we can, it's good to see that we can get runs on Max Fried, because if we can get runs on him, we can definitely put up runs on Ian Anderson. We can definitely put up runs on Kyle Wright. The rest of that Braves rotation.
Yeah, but listen, that's the end of their rotation. I don't know that they have a number 4 starter.
Right, that's what I couldn't think of anyone. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah. I don't know that they really have one. I mean, they won't go to Fried. I mean, Fried will pitch game 5 because he didn't go too deep into this game. So if this gets to a game 5, I would imagine Max Fried gets the call on short rest. But they don't have a 4th starter, so it would probably be a bullpen day for them. And again, their bullpen has been great, which is part of why it's so important that they kind of ran Max Fried off early, because it gets to the bullpen early.
Right.
There's no days off in this series.
Yeah, there you go.
So if they can force some of these pitchers to work a little bit here, and get their pitch counts up, maybe Snicker loses some of that availability moving forward.
Yep.
And the fact that Sandy is still in this game is helping the Marlins in that case too, because the Marlins only kept 14 pitchers on their NLDS roster. Normally they had gone with an extra pitcher this year. So again, really important that Sandy's still in the game and that they got to Fried early. It's just a matter of making some of these bullpen arms work a little bit so that they can't pitch again tomorrow and the next day.
Adam Wainwright is commentating? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And Big Papi was making fun of him because of the 2013 World Series. So that was a quick inning for the Marlins. Not much action. This Matzek came and that's it.
He struck out the side
for everybody. And here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's getting late and it's getting interesting in this first game of the National League Division Series.
It is. At least we're not down 3-0.
Right.
We're playing good baseball. To stay in this game after the Acuña home run, 2 2-out doubles by the Braves, 5 amazing defensive plays.
I know
that basically have saved at this point probably 2 or 3 runs from the Marlins. For the Marlins to stay in it, and for Standy to stay in it even after allowing 3 runs early, it's a good sign. It's what we like to see. I'm very content with where we are through 6 innings, and if we get through this 6th, as we've noted, we are 29-0 when up after 6. So, or 30-0 now, right?
Or 31.
31
now. Yeah.
But so what? This all right. So we have Acuña up first this inning. That's tough. Freeman is 0 for 3 in this game, so he might get a hit. So that's also interesting. But last time Acuña was up, Sandy struck him out. Let's see his approach, and also we know about him getting hit too. It's the meat of their lineup, the top of their lineup, and Miami's got to protect it because they only got a 1-run lead. And frankly, versus these top 4 guys on their lineup, this is the time for them to strike.
Yeah, if the Braves are going to put up runs, it's going to be now.
Or the 9th, but yeah, mostly
or the
now.
9th. Yeah, or the 9th. That's scary too. I mean,
that is pretty scary.
Against these 3 guys, it's scary. Whether you're up 12-0 or down 50-0, the fact that going through Acuña, Freeman, and Marcell Ozuna, never an easy task, regardless of who you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to lead off the 6th, it'll be Dansby Swanson, who they've done.
Oh yeah.
And then Duvall, who has a long history against the Marlins, particularly this year. It feels like every hit that guy had was a homer against the Marlins this year. And then it'll be Markakis, Riley, and then the top of the order. So, I mean, what you really want to avoid here is putting some of these guys on, so that when the lineup wraps around, you don't want guys on base for Acuña, Freeman, or Ozuna. So it's this is an important inning. I would imagine that Sandy's still going to be out there for the Marlins. If Mattingly can steal another inning here, and he is, he's out there. So if Mattingly can steal another inning here, that from Sandy, that'll be key. He's only at 79 pitches. He's throwing mostly fastballs, but you worry a little bit about the fastballs. I don't know if you guys talked about this at all. The Braves hit fastballs really, really well. They have some great fastball hitters in their lineup. So, the fact that he's starting to lean a little bit more on his changeup and his sinker, definitely the changeup has been key for him. But you got to be careful with the fastball against the Braves.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess the ESPN app messed me up and said that Acuña was leading off. But we got Swanson, which is great. I'm happy to see this part of the lineup. They haven't had too much success today with this portion.
I'm not happy to see Duvall, but Swanson and Markakis, I'm not torn up about.
Yeah, Duvall's 0 for 2 today, so
That was a sharp ground ball by Swanson. That's the first out of the inning.
All right.
That ball was hit pretty hard. Let's go check how hard that ball was hit because it was rocked to Miguel Rojas. Like David was saying, only 82 pitches. Be careful, and if this is a quick inning, you might be seeing Sandy Alcantara for the 7th too. So we'll see what happens.
That would be ideal.
You could, but you wonder again when you think about the Marlins rotation. I know we said it about the Braves, but if you think about the Marlins rotation, they really only confidently go 3 deep too.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we have Castano and we have Trevor Rogers and Braxton Garrett all available in the bullpen. I would imagine Castano would probably be the one that maybe gets the start, considering Trevor Rogers got knocked around pretty good the last time he saw the Braves. But you wonder if Sandy's able to get through this inning pretty cleanly. Does Mattingly sit him down with the hopes that he can bring him back in a potential Game 5? I mean, I know that he's kind of a day-to-day manager, so he wants this win specifically. But it's something to think about for sure.
Yeah, I think you have to secure this one. I mean, even though we were talking about it earlier, we do have the rested bullpen, so you could go to your 3 trusted guys and that'll be fine. But I don't know Mattingly did it against the Cubs. He didn't want any chances. He took the ball out of his hands, and that was it. 6 innings and 2/3. So we'll see. Maybe if he sees something, he goes with the hook, the quick hook, because like you said, it's 5 straight days. If you go to 5, of course, or maybe even if you're down 2-1 in the series and you want to force him and pitch him in the 4th game, that could be an option too. So the more pitches that he uses today, it's gonna be harder for him to actually come back. Oh, that Duvall ball! Oh, that scared me, man.
It looked bad coming off the bat for sure,
especially in that short porch in left field with Minute Maid Park. Oh man.
Where any little you could check swing a home run out to left field. I mean,
that's scary. I thought it was gone off the bat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably Sandy's last inning, like you guys are saying, because if he's hovering around 90, you're not going to really start another inning unless he gets one batter or so.
I'm curious to see. I don't know that he faces Acuña again. I think Mattingly pulls him before Acuña gets back to the plate, right?
Yeah, that'll be a 4th time. The 3 times is fine, and it looked like it was an even match, right? Home run, hit by pitch, and strikeout. You guys are even. You guys can see each other some other time.
Yeah, and right, and I think because he was able to strike him out there in a big spot with runners on, that gives Sandy kind of the last word a little bit. So I don't know that I would let Sandy face Acuña one more time.
Interesting.
You know what? I would go with him. That would be my last batter for him. They'll have their reliever ready for Freeman, Ozuna, and
oh wow, okay.
And Travis or not, but we'll see what happens.
Well, he's had success against Freeman, although Freeman's kind of, he's took him to the outfield every time.
Yeah. Well, he gets through this inning with no problems. So, it's a big question because the next inning will be.
He's only at 91. I think you put him out there at least for a batter. I mean, if Riley gets on for the Acuña Freeman Ozuna part, then you take him out. But I think. You let Sandy go out there for that 7th inning. He has looked really good since, that scuffle in the 3rd.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a bet. Not a bet, but like free bet. Who has Sandy going out one more inning or one more pitch?
I will put this quarter on
the
line. That's Sandy.
I think Sandy's done. I think he's done.
I think he's done as well. I think he's done too.
Okay, I will bring him back for those 2 guys, for Riley and for Acuña. I will definitely. You know what? I trust you. Here you go. This is your playoffs. Go for him.
Yeah, I mean that's the other part of it, right? I mean he's been so good. He wants the ball. He's been so confident. He was great against the Cubs, great against the Yankees.
He's been great today too.
Yeah, he's been pretty great today. You're showing the pitches, like the changeup. He's throwing it more and more each inning. He's not relying too heavily on his fastball. I think he only threw maybe 4 in that inning. So he's pitching to his secondary stuff, to his off-speed stuff, which is important in this against this lineup, you know. So, but even if he does bring him out there, I can't imagine he gets all the way to Freeman. I would probably I bet you Richard Blyer is warming up for Freeman right now for a lefty-lefty matchup. You know, but the back end of this bullpen has been a strength for the Marlins, especially lately. It'll be interesting to see if Yimi Garcia has any fireworks in this game too, because we saw what happened with him and Contreras against the Cubs. You know, the Braves have some similarly excitable players on their side, so you know, it should be interesting.
Very interesting matchup today between the Marlins and the Braves. It's Will Smith. He will be the next pitcher for the Marlins. So Will Smith, the white version of Will Smith, is going to be pitching this time for the Braves, and he's going to face Magneto Sierra, who's hitting the ball pretty well today. A couple of base hit and a double, both to left field, and this is a great at bat, because if he gets on with Bertie hitting, you might be seeing a bunt, and I know Ryan is going to be happy seeing that bunt being an option there in that situation.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier, but from what it sounded like, there's some real he bunts out, so that's too bad. But there's some real like Juan Pierre, Luis Castillo energy with Mag Sierra and John Birdie, you know, wrapping around with each other here. Sierra tried a little drag bunt to get on, but
the thing is, both Riley and Freeman are playing way in, so you literally have to hit a ground ball between the pitcher and the second baseman in order to actually get somewhere. So that play didn't have a lot of future anyway. So it's Birdie now. So you were saying Luis Castillo and
Yeah, so right. So, you know, you remember those old lineups that had Pierre and Castillo 1-2. I mean, I know it's a little bit different here with Sierra hitting ninth and Birdie hitting first, but when they would go back to back like that, it felt a little bit like Juan Pierre, Luis Castillo a little bit, you know.
Or Bonifacio.
Emilio Bonifacio. He's still playing.
Emilio Bonifacio.
I loved him, man.
I was
Alfredo Meziga too.
I was surprised to hear Bonifacio was still around, and I mean, I'll never forget him hitting an inside the park home run on opening day years ago.
Was it a grand slam too? It was like an inside the park grand slam. I don't know.
I definitely remember being an inside the park home run. I don't remember if it was a grand slam or not. Speaking of big home runs, though, the Marlins only have one hit this year off Will Smith. Any guesses who got that hit?
Brinson.
Smith?
Birdie.
No.
Brian Anderson? No, Starling Marte. Starling Marte hit a homer, right?
No, it was Monte Harrison's game-tying home run. It was the only bomb that Harrison hit.
All right.
In that game where was it? We lost that game. But Monte hit the game-tying home run off Will Smith. He's the only guy for the Marlins this year to get a hit off of him. They're 1 for 8 against.
Now probably 1 for 9. Yeah. Birdie's out.
Although man, he just beat him. Like Birdie.
Inch.
Yeah. The Braves defense has been really, really good today. I mean.
Yes, definitely. They say that, like Christian was saying, Albies, man, stole a bunch of base hits, and Freeman.
Yeah, and Will Smith hasn't even been like that dominant versus other teams either. I mean, what does he have, a 4.5 ERA this year?
Yeah, he was an option for the Marlins to sign in this year while they were looking for a closer. I know that they thought about him, and then obviously they went with Kinsler instead. Kinsler's been better than he has this year, so it looks like the right choice. But he was an option. He was supposed to be the closer for the Braves, but they ended up, going in a different direction with Melanson, I think, ends up being their sort of regular closer. Yeah, because Will Smith had a 4.50 ERA this year. I mean, he was pretty good against the Marlins, I guess, but wasn't great against everybody else.
And into the 7th inning stretch we go.
Oh boy, it's getting hot in here, guys.
Yeah, both is right.
With 1-run lead. I mean, I felt confident with the Cubs, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm not confident with the 1-run lead versus the Braves.
Not against this lineup.
No,
not against this lineup.
Yeah, we're gonna see Austin Riley first, and then the big guys.
Yeah,
Austin Riley can still swing it. It's kind of funny how that bottom of the order, we dismiss Swanson and Markakis and Riley, but those 3 guys are still
formidable.
Yeah, they're still good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They will be in the middle of our lineup for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we go. 91 pitches. We see it here, 91. Do you guys go back to Sandy Alcantara? No, we didn't see anybody warming in the bullpen, so that's a good
point.
There.
Yo, my quarter might end up.
You might double it.
You might double.
You got some chips.
All in. Christian went all in with his quarter, and here we go. We'll see what the decision is. I think even if he brings Alcantara just to face Riley, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's wise to. I mean, and listen, he's the ace, so maybe he should, and you go out there with your best players, right? But I wonder if Mattingly is gonna let Sandy see Acuña a 4th time, But listen, this might be best case scenario for the Marlins, right? Because they get if they can navigate through this inning and they get Acuña and Freeman out of the way, they might not need to deal with them for the rest of the game, So it kind of splits the heart of their order over 2 innings, So this is obviously a big spot. If he doesn't go with Sandy, I wonder who he brings in.
Well, you mentioned Jimmy Garcia, right? That would be a good guy to bring in right now.
Yeah, I mean, Boxberger has been a late inning guy for them. He's not going Kinsler, not this early.
No.
I mean, if they take out Sandy, we go what? Boxberger, Yimmy, Kinsler, right? That's just.
Well, you still have Blyer there that can pitch to Freeman too.
Maybe with more like a bigger lead, you put in Blyer, but you got to slam the door with your best guys with a 1-run lead.
Yeah, I feel like Blyer is kind of the lefty specialist. So if there's a runner on for Freddie Freeman, I would imagine that Blyer would come on to face him. Although, it might not be.
And he's back in the game. Ha.
There you go. You keep your quarter, you get another one.
And Riley gets a hit to start the inning.
Oh.
So I was right, but at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost was I right?
I mean, literally worst case scenario here, right?
Yes. Okay, so you have a guy on, and he was a soft grounder too. That has to make you mad, right? With that.
Oh.
Oh man,
It was against the shift. They had shifted all the way over, and Birdie couldn't get to that ball.
So
hey, maybe
ground ball.
Let's double him up. Come on, guys. Turn 2.
No, it's facing him right now. So it's men on first. The Marlins are winning 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th, and this is the 4th round between Sandy Alcantara and Ronald Acuña. It's been 1-1-1. I would say. Well, Acuña gets the advantage because he scored in that last after the hit by pitch. So we'll see what happens in this one.
It would be so loud if there was fans right now.
I know.
Man, we're missing out on that.
Yeah.
Pump that fake noise in.
This at bat is, I mean, the first one or the third one in the 4th inning was pretty exciting, and this one is up there too. Very nice.
I can't believe how far he hit that ball in the first inning going opposite field.
Yeah.
That was wild. Oh, base hit.
Oh man.
Really?
Yeah. Right up the middle. So 2 on.
No out.
Nobody out.
For the MVP.
Right, with Freddie Freeman coming up.
Well, here there should be Blyer coming on. So
no, Yimmy is the one that's
by himself.
Yep. No Blyer.
So
I wonder if.
so
They
Acuña
should have
went
pulled Sandy.
yeah, Sandy went for the changeup instead of continuing with the high cheese and what
Are they
worked
not
in the
playing?
previous at bat. So Mount visit. So I don't know if they're making time
There's Yimmy.
or if it's Alcantara who's gonna face the middle of the. Maybe they're bringing Jimmy just for Ozuna and
Oh, there comes
He's
Tom.
got to pitch two
And
guys,
Bernard.
right?
he's got to pitch to 3, so
Three guys.
he, he can get. I get it's he pitched to 3 or end the inning, so he can if he can get
Triple play.
double play or a
A
triple
little
play.
triple play in there.
Yeah. Yimmy was really good against the Braves this year. I mean, he had 2 outings against them. He did not give up a hit. He did walk Marcelo Zuna in the one at bat that he faced him in, and he struck out 2. He struck out Albies and he struck out Adam Duvall. He faced Freddie Freeman, but he didn't strike him out. But Freddie Freeman didn't get a hit. So, looks
We're just gonna turn a triple play.
yeah. So
it's Jimmy Garcia coming in for the Marlins. That's gonna be it for Sandy Alcantara. 6 innings plus. We told you guys he should have just not got out.
When you're at 90 pitches, man, come on.
I was right, but at what cost? That is the question we ask ourselves.
He gave up 3 runs. You can't bring him back out there. But, Austin Riley, you thought he was going to get one guy. Then they're like, oh, we'll make up for it with the Acuña thing. But he also probably wanted Acuña. He probably said, Don Mattingly, I want Acuña. And he got beat.
Yeah, but, I get that, right? And I get listening to the players and being a player's, manager and all that stuff. But, if the Marlins end up losing this game, it's going to be because Sandy went out there to start this inning and that he didn't automatically go to the bullpen because, giving this lineup a 4th look at somebody, he went out there one inning too long, and now they've got the heart of the order coming up with 2 runners on, nobody out. This is a tough spot for Yimi Garcia to get in because a single ties the ball game, an extra base hit. Acuña is going to try and score from first. So this is a tough spot. Makes you wonder if Mattingly made the right choice.
He did not make the right choice.
Yeah.
Very upset right now. If I wasn't live, I would be doing something else. This is where you open up that wine or that beer, like right around here. Calm the nerves. Whew.
Sandy was really, really good today. And considering this lineup, considering how potent they've been to hold them to 3 runs. Obviously, those 2 runs on base, those belong to him. So, he was really, really good. But hopefully, Yimi can wiggle out of this trouble here.
It's funny. It says 6+ innings pitched, but he doesn't have any outs. So I guess.
Well, because that's the way of saying that these runners belong to him. So, okay, Jimmy Garcia. That's why they brought this guy here. He came from. He was with the Dodgers, and now he's maybe facing the most important at bat for the Marlins franchise in the last couple of years. So here we go.
Here we go. The Marlins killer versus Yimi. Let's go.
The MVP versus Yimi. This is just so many titles that go to Freddie Freeman, man.
Fucking sweating.
Freddie's locked in. Yimi's locked in. This is going to be good.
Swing and strike. You got to like that.
Oh, ground ball. He got Acuña at second.
So 1st and 3rd, 1 down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a close play, though.
So now you walk Ozuna, right?
I don't think so. Not with 1 out.
Not with the runner on 1st and 1 down.
Yeah.
That was a risky play by Birdie, right?
It was. It really, really was.
That was close.
Oh man.
Because you don't want second and third one down. I mean, I guess then you just walk them.
The thing is, after Ozuna, you have a very hot guy too. So not because he's sexy, because he's hitting the ball very well. and then I don't know. I will just pitch to both. I don't.
Darnod. You got to
But
hope
Darno
Darnod.
is slower than Ozuna, so like
Yeah, double play potential.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you could argue that, like, but then again, Acuña
The
would be
thing
on
is,
second.
you're moving the go-ahead run to second base.
Right. That you definitely don't want to do that.
Right.
Especially not against a guy like Ozuna who can, he is a strikeout
Candidate.
Yes.
candidate for sure. I mean, I know obviously he had a monster year for them this year. Nice to see, former Marlin have a little bounce back, but I don't want to see it here today.
No.
He can bounce back to the dugout after a ground ball.
Yeah.
He bounced out to the dugout after a double play ball.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to kind of like how he got Freeman and out. I mean, technically he's on base, fielder's choice, but you got to like how he kept him in the infield.
Yeah.
You can do the same.
It's 4-3 for the Marlins. Men on first and third, 1 out. For all of you guys asking in the chat right now, welcome, and you're joining in the right moment to do so.
All right, 0-2.
Yep.
It's Jimmy Garcia facing Marcelo Zuna with men on first and third and 1
I'm a
out.
little behind.
Yeah. He went with a breaking ball there and he fouled it off.
National League home run and RBI leader. Grounds into double play, please.
Casual. They have the MVP and the National League home run and RBI leader, but they're not the same player. Like,
Yes.
what?
Yeah. And
Kind of
and
crazy.
They were the second best offense because the Dodgers offense was just out of bounds. Like they
Yeah,
were
Corey Seager, Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Corey Seager, man, had an
Bellinger.
unreal season. Bellinger, he's all right. I wonder who does get MVP of the Dodgers this year.
They may have spread it around too much, which is why it probably goes to Freeman, I guess.
No, I mean
just
the
like
Dodgers.
the team MVP. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mookie for sure. Right now, MVP is like the odds are. It's like a three-way tie between Freeman, Ozuna, and Mookie. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Tie ball game.
No.
Yeah. Ozuna single.
Damn, it couldn't even pop up. That's why you walk him.
No, I agree with pitching to him. That's fine. Okay, let's see what happened. Base hit, line drive. That breaking ball stayed up, and Marcelo Zuna just hit it hard. That's what happens. You leave those breaking balls up in the zone in 2 strike counts.
Yeah.
You're going to get rocked.
Man.
So it's a no decision for Sandy Alcantara.
And that
Could be a
run
lot.
goes to Sandy also.
Yeah, so 4 runs for Sandy in 6 innings plus. The 2 runners on belong to Jimmy Garcia.
Man.
I mean, it wasn't that bad of a pitch. It was just too high, especially for a breaking ball. If
it was
it's
a good piece of
fastball up
hitting.
there, I'm fine with it.
It was a good piece of hitting. He fought him off, and I don't know. It seems like a lot of that stuff is kind of dropping into left field. I don't know if Corey Dickerson could have got to that ball, but I feel like the defensive positioning out there might be something to reconsider because and they're definitely not out of the woods yet. I mean, 2 on with 1 out. They've got Darno up. He's been another great hitter for them this year.
Well, David, you saw Brian Anderson did get 2 hits today, snapping his hitless streak. So that's a positive. See, we need Marlins offense at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Yimmy's got to make a solid pitch here, and then and then the bats need to come alive against this bullpen.
It's Mel Stoudemire walking and talking to the guy. Oh man, it's still a very even game. 4-4, men and first and second, one out. They were replaying the birdie play on second. That was very risky. They're very well executed by the Marlins.
Do you think Yimi needs a translator for that conversation with Wallach and Mel Stoudemire?
Probably. I mean, on the Zoom calls, he has a translator. So.
They need Miggy Rojas over there.
Oh boy.
What happened?
3-run bomb.
Oh man.
And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out.
So this is why you don't walk Marcelo Zuna. There you go. Travis Arnott, fourth guy in the lineup. And breaking ball down the middle. That slider didn't work today for Jimmy Garcia. 3-run bomb for the Braves. And the Braves are up 7-4 in the bottom of the seventh. And they're not. That's his fourth RBI out of the day with that 3-run homer.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is the first time, obviously, that Yimi struggles like this year. I mean, he only gave up 1 earned run all 2020. The worst part about this is they put 4 on the board against Max Fried, Yeah. And so they're wasting that effort. I mean, the Braves bullpen has been pretty good throughout this year. And now the Marlins need to get at least 3, if not 4, if they want to win it. It's a tall task. It's a tall task at this point.
Yeah, it's not a great situation to be in. I mean, the bullpen had to falter at some point. I feel like been so dominant lately. Travis d'Arnaud, though, what a game! Guy's 3 for 3. If he gets a triple, he gets another AB, which is unlikely. If he triples, he'll hit for the cycle. So it just seems like it was Travis d'Arnaud's day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, Yimi, I don't think we could think of him anymore as our high percentage close option. I know he's like our third guy, but I would not put him in again unless Miami was winning by a couple of runs. Because these tight games, man, I know that those weren't his runs, not every single one, and he had to help out Sandy's cause. But man, that is you can't give up a 3-run home run. I know it's simple to say, but I mean you got Mel Stoudemire comes out there and the next pitch is a 3-run home run. Like that's not the pitch that Mel told you to do. Yeah,
I mean he struggled there. I mean he's been again one of their best arms out of the bullpen, a high leverage guy for them all year long. Today is obviously not his day. This inning continues with a single error by Ozzy Albies. If I'm Mattingly, he's up to 16 pitches already. So you probably don't want to bring in another pitcher, but
right, yeah, he's finishing this inning for sure.
You can't let this game get away from you.
No, he's done.
Too much. I wonder, Alejandro, can you see how far that ball went? I wonder if that would have gotten out in Marlins or in Atlanta.
Let's go look it up real quick. Man, that was slider down the middle, and d'Arnaud just crushed it. Oh man. Okay, let me go get it real fast. It's exit velocity and distance. So that home run got at the bat off
430,
160 miles an hour. 106. I'm sorry, miles an hour. It was 421 feet.
421. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at Truist Park, I mean that's probably that would have been out at Truist Park. Dead center is 400 feet. So
that's out in most ballparks.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess 421. That number surprised me. I thought maybe a little shorter than that. But even so, the fence in Truist Park is only 400. It's not like I guess a home run out to left here. You wonder.
Is the wall higher?
It might be. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm thinking of left field. Either way, even if it doesn't get over, that's still a double. Scores 2.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
obviously not.
I don't think we denounce Yimmy yet. I mean, the guy only allowed 1 earned run through an entire season, so
He's denounced. That's it.
No, it's fine. I mean, this is what happens with relievers, right? They have one terrible outing, and it's hard for them to bring that ERA down again. And it's their life. They're used to having one rough outing and then coming back and having 5 straight good ones, and that's how it works. Now the thing is, you have to use not the bad part, but like the back part of the bullpen. You don't want to throw your main guys, especially with the 3-run deficit right now.
Yeah, Kinsler won't probably be
But
in.
he did bring James Hoyt though.
Yeah, I mean if you're Mattingly, you're pulling Yimmy for 2 reasons, right? Obviously, completely ineffective here today. He's not able to get the outs that he needed to get. But then beyond that, if you're able to use him again, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, you don't want him to go up there and throw 30 pitches in the inning. So that's probably the rest of the thinking in that spot. But he wants to keep this game. He wants to keep his offense within striking distance. I know the offense has gone pretty quiet, but
Damn.
that's the idea here, I would imagine.
Well, Bam is expected to play per Adrian Wojnarowski
Oh boy,
tonight.
Randy Chambers says that Bam's planning to play tonight.
There you go.
Wash.
James Hoyt just gave up a 2-run bomb.
Oh man, so that's
Damn.
it's
All
been
right.
one of those innings for the Marlins bullpen. First pitch
First
pitch right there, cutter down the middle, and that ball just rocked, man.
I mean, this is obviously what you worry about against this Braves lineup. This is what everybody was saying going in, and that the Marlins don't have the offense to stay with them. And I don't see the Marlins putting 10 runs up.
No, it's hard. Well,
It's Atlanta's bullpen's been really, really good, and it's all collapsed here for the Marlins in the 7th.
I guess what they should have done is start the inning off with Boxberger, and then Kinsler for 2. That's what they should have done.
I do wonder, if he starts the inning with a reliever, even if it is Yimmy, just to start the inning. I wonder
it could have been different. Yeah.
Yeah, coming out with high leverage, runners on. You wonder if that made a difference. But I mean, that's why they pay him, right?
Yeah. You know what? It's one of those situations where if you don't keep Alcantara, you would have people barking if they actually get to the bullpen guys before this. So it would have been the other way around. And you know what? He did bring Jimmy with people on, but the game was tied, and he gave up a bomb. And now Hoyt gave up a bomb. So it would have happened anyway, I guess. But it's hard to tell. It's a hard call for them. And I mean, it's also experience especially for the young guys. I know
Okay, guys, if it's any consolation, Bam Adebayo is playing.
Look at Christian. Christian's like 1 minute or 2 minutes behind us.
Hey, you stepped away. We said that.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so
I just saw it on my phone.
Man.
in this type of situation, and we saw it, I think it started around 2016. You remember when the Indians used to bring like Andrew Miller in the 7th or Cody Allen early because they felt Terry Francona felt at that moment. And it happened with the Brewers too, with Josh Hader. They used to bring their best arm in the inning they thought could change the outcome of the game. And that's what would have happened here if Mattingly brings Kinsler.
That would have been
interesting. But he hasn't done it in the playoffs, and that would have been weird if he did it, especially in this situation. But I guess
this sucks, guys.
Brinson just saved at least a double, if not a home run.
Double, I think it was a bomb.
It might have been. It might have gotten over the fence.
Wow.
But, so big play there by Brinson. But still, going into the 8th against this bullpen, they need
scary,
6 runs. I don't know that I don't know that that's going to happen for the Marlins. I mean, so you think about it moving forward. What does it mean? You know, Yimi, again, one of the key pitchers in the back end of the bullpen, and Hoyt too. So to see both of those guys that have been so good for so long to struggle here like this, obviously you worry about it. It makes you think that, you know, the starters, like tomorrow, Pablo is going to have to be absolutely lights out. Absolutely lights out.
Man. So
it's not easy.
Yeah, we're going to get 5 runs and then go to extra innings. They're going to protect that lead so well.
Okay.
Man. That's right. Sheldon knows. I am not a Yimmy fan anymore. Not after that, guys.
We're fans of Jimmy Butler now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Will Manso actually made a joke about that right now on Twitter. He goes, I'd rather have Yimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did change was in the past, Martingley did use Hoyt to come with runners on. That was like his type of relief situation. And even though it didn't work this time, he still gave up a 2-run bomb to Swanson. We were talking about Swanson earlier here, that he wasn't hitting the ball very well. Well, he did now. But I don't know. It's just everything went downhill for the Marlins, and it's too bad. And it's still just one game. It hurts because it's our ace. It hurts because the guys kind of hit today, even though it's just 4 runs. But I guess it's just one loss at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does prove also how lethal the top of the lineup is for the Braves. And although you might come clear, 3 times, they're going to get you at least one go around.
Yeah, I mean, right. And you think about it, what was it? Riley started off with a single, and then Acuña got on, and then it just went haywire from there for the Marlins pitchers. They couldn't get the outs when they needed them. Ozuna with his hit, his single, and then d'Arnaud, and then Swanson, like up and down the lineup. They've got great major league hitters.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going with Chris Martin.
I guess we're seeing all their pitchers today.
Yeah, I mean that's probably Snitker trying to keep their pitch counts low so that they'd be available again. He doesn't want to run somebody out there to throw too many and then lose their availability. Marlins need base runners. Base runners and probably a 3-run bomb.
No. So here's what happens. Single walk, scores a run. Now it's 9-5. Grand slam, 9-9. And then we're right back in it.
That would be something.
That would be nice.
That would be something.
But instead we get a strikeout.
Yep.
So for the Braves, they have some defense moves. Pache is in right field for Markakis. That's weird.
Unless they moved Markakis over to left. Did they move Markakis to left?
Was Adam Wainwright not playing in the wild card series like 2 days ago? That's crazy.
Yes, he pitched. No, Markakis is out, and Duval's still in left field.
Adam Wainwright, what a fall from grace, man. He was an elite number 1, number 2, him and Chris Carpenter, and then he just trying to keep his career going, and with the injuries and he just he never really found his form again. I mean, he's had a few good outings where he gives up 2 runs, maybe no runs over 6 innings, but he's not a complete game pitcher anymore. He's not really dependable anymore. He just, I guess because he was part of the World Series team with them, maybe that he's still on the roster, but he doesn't really have much to offer for them.
Brian Anderson gets another hit, so that's nice to see him. If his bat can get going, that'll obviously make a big difference for this Marlins lineup. I mean, might not make a difference today, but it's to get Brian Anderson's bat going is important for the Marlins, considering the offense that they're going up against.
You're right, and also on that, postseason baseball is tough for pitchers mentally, so there's a different type of focus in place, and maybe these pitchers mentally aren't strong enough for the postseason. So Marlins might be able to do a little bit of damage, hopefully, just because these guys just don't either have the experience or they're scared. And maybe we'll get some at bats for Jazz or Monte while we're at it, just to or Alfaro, just to get them warmed up.
Listen, Alfaro's definitely going to play in this series. There's no doubt about it. Chad Wallach can't catch every single game, and I think maybe today having the Braves offense put up this number means that Alfaro's going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, offense.
Although maybe Mattingly wants to go with Wallach for Pablo Lopez, but still, I mean, at one point, especially if you're dealing with a potent offense like this, you got to get your best bats in the lineup,
Yeah.
And already, since we're already missing arguably our best, most consistent hitter in Marte, Alfaro's a better hitter than Wallach, and I know that the receiving and pitch calling is incredibly important, but They put up 9 runs on the board today with Wallach back there calling the pitches and whatnot. So it might
not try Alfaro.
Yeah, it might be time to go back to Alfaro. And then again, this series is 5 games, 5 straight games. I mean, is Wallach, who's never been a consistent starter, is he even able to do to carry a workload like that?
No.
Yeah.
You answered the question. I know that was a rhetorical question, but yeah, he's not a starter on any other team in this league, with all respect to his performance, but he's not. I mean, the guy, it's amazing that Miami brought him in as their postseason catcher. It's not the best roster option.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you feel a little bit better with Cervelli back there, but even Cervelli wasn't great as a hitter. I mean, he had some timely hits, but
right.
He was more of a defensive catcher too.
Yeah,
and
it kind of shows you that Wallach is actually their third option.
Yeah, well, he definitely was, and he would have been around. He would have been, on the taxi squad. He would have been activated every now and then, this year. But obviously, between Alfaro getting sick, although I think Wallach also got sick. And then losing Cervelli, that means that Wallach has to be in there regularly. But he doesn't seem like at this point. I think it might be time to go back to Alfaro for no other reason that Mattingly was trying to ride the wave with Wallach, right? He was trying to go with what had been working, and it worked really well against the Yankees, and then obviously against the Cubs, but today they got punched in the mouth, and they're going to need to respond.
Quick question. If the Marlins do win the World Series, Cervelli gets a ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even Villar gets a ring.
Yeah. I mean, they're giving out a ton of rings because there were a ton of guys on this roster.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
What about Alfaro? Do you think he'll be in the top end of the lineup, maybe number 4, number 5 hitter, or you think he'll be down like 7 or 8?
I would imagine he's lower down in the order. Wallach has been on the bottom end of the order, but I would probably see Alfaro, anywhere from 6 to 9 would be my guess, depending on how he wants to set up the speed. I know that Mattingly likes to put, a speed guy at 9. Yeah, he hit him.
Here we go. Bad blood.
The retaliation. Because Miggy hit a home run, so he's gonna try to hit him. All right.
Yeah, but they didn't throw him out of the game, so even though
the camera goes to Acuña right away. Let's see.
Yeah, even though they
Nah, but that was like breaking ball, and it was after he fouled off a couple of pitches. That's not intentional.
My goodness. Alejandro, come on, man.
You have to understand the game, Ryan. If you're gonna hit somebody, you go straight at him.
Alejandro, with
Straight
all
at him.
respect,
You don't waste.
with all respect, Alejandro.
You don't waste pitches, and you don't do it with breaking balls. You go
Okay.
high 90s.
If you're
into the ribs, first
it
pitch.
is a fastball to the face.
There you go.
Change up.
Listen, I'll tell you this. I mean, I know this isn't the situation that Christian kind of outlined for us, but if Corey Dickerson can get a hold of one here, it makes things interesting.
It's a game. It's a game.
Alejandro, you don't think that he was purposely hit?
No.
No.
He did not get a hold of one. He pops it up, and it's a foul, but he's out. He popped out to Austin Riley in
Not
foul
good.
territory.
Tough day for Corey Dickerson.
Yeah. And he apparently hits pretty well in Minute Maid Park, but not today.
All right, so now Matt Joyce gets a hold of one.
Yeah, that's true.
Simple as that.
The former Brave. Is he up?
Yeah, they're pinch hitting here. So Joyce is hitting for Lewis Brinson. I mean, Brinson struck out twice. He grounded out once. I guess here it might just be matchup dependent. I guess Joyce is a lefty. So you don't lose too much with putting. I mean, well, yeah, you lose stuff with Brinson defensively here, especially considering the last play that he made. But I guess the Mattingly's thinking here is that if he gets a hold of one, if Joyce can get a hold of one here, this is all matchups.
Yeah, no, I think also he's a veteran. You get the veteran guy in who has experience in general, and also he started last game, so he's a worthy starter. So he's probably their next bat off the bench, their first bat.
Yeah. And Joyce and Brinson have basically been platooning. Joyce gets the righties, and Brinson was getting the lefties. And now that we've got a right-handed reliever in there with Chris Martin, Mattingly goes with Joyce.
And I would love to stick it to the Braves right now. 3,
That would be great.
7, man.
They do like 2-out hitting, so let's go. This is a situation.
All right, 1, 2.
That's true. They were really good with 2 outs this year. I mean, as a team, the Marlins hit 251 with 2 outs, which was in the top half of MLB, and they scored 46% of their runs with 2 outs this year. 122 runs. 122 of their 263 runs came with 2 outs. That was during the regular season. That was the highest percentage by far in the majors. And then in Game 2 against the Cubs, both runs came with 2 outs in that one. So, the Marlins have had 2-out rallies before, that's for sure. So let's see.
Quite the big one here.
Yep. Fouls it off.
That was a regretful inning, last inning. Man, giving up 6 runs.
Ryan's still mourning that inning.
Yeah, listen, it's tough, but and I mean,
Let's go with the rally cap. That's what happened.
It speaks to this Atlanta Braves lineup, man, how potent it is. So
The game's out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, it feels that way right now. Obviously, it would feel a little different if Bat Joyce can come through.
Nothing's out of reach.
Especially
We can
in
pull it
baseball.
off. Yo, with Chad Wallach coming up. Oh yeah, bases loaded Chad Wallach.
Well, that's Jorge Alfaro. That's why you have him there, right there.
That would be something, right? Joyce loops in a single.
Okay.
Brian Anderson scores.
Okay.
We got runners at first and third. It looks like with 2 outs. Chad Wallach coming up.
Chad Wallach.
Yeah.
It's Wallach time.
Yeah.
I feel like if this might be a spot for Jorge Alfaro to come in as a pinch hitter.
I mean,
God.
it's your last bullet right there.
Yeah, there he is.
Jorge time.
Yeah, and
All
listen,
right.
he's able to do this. He's able to do this because they purchased the contract of Sean Rodriguez, who's done nothing this year, right? And he got sick for a while. But Sean Rodriguez is on the roster, and he is a catcher as well. Like, he can play catcher. So, God forbid, something happens to Alfaro here. It's not like they're out of catchers. Sean Rodriguez would be the catcher at that point.
Okay.
you
So I
know.
guess they're gonna change pitchers.
I don't know. I mean, if Alfaro can get a hold of one here, man, would that be vindication for him? Like, oh, you don't want to play me because you don't think I can catch? Well, this is what I can do.
Yeah, he's got to be fresh, locked in. He's got his donut going. He's ready.
Yeah, Samir has it right in the comments. 3-run homer coming up. I mean,
There you go.
Yes, please.
Hopefully.
I mean, we
What's up,
could.
Samir? Samir, I haven't seen Samir's show yet.
man, he just took a hack at that first fastball that he saw. He swung right through it. But
Yeah, you expect him to be aggressive.
yeah,
Want him to be aggressive.
he's been pretty good with 2 outs this year. I mean, they just showed the graphic, 6 for 13 with some doubles and a homer, 7 RBI. He's been pretty good.
That's with runners in scoring position too.
Yeah.
So, he's been good. He's been solid.
Melanson's their closer. He's warming up in the Atlanta bullpen.
I want Melanson. Bring him.
The Marlins can get to him. He's been really good, but he doesn't have overpowering stuff. He's not your typical closer.
Yeah.
In that, like, he's just gonna blow you away. He's got stuff that that can be touched for sure. But obviously, we need a big hit here from Alfaro. You don't want to go into the 9th down 4.
Can you imagine Alfaro taking this ball out? My goodness, 1-run game. I'd be jumping. I would hate to lose by 1 at this point.
I'd rather lose by 1 than lose by 4.
Well, I mean, you like the fight that we're seeing out of the Marlins. They've fought all year long, right? They've been resilient,
Right.
But unfortunately, Alfaro does not get the job done.
No.
He just a soft grounder right back to Martin, and the inning is over.
Man.
So, they had their opportunities. They couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, it
It's
was
too bad.
way outside of the zone.
Yeah, he was too jacked up. I mean, look at those pitches. Only one of those pitches is a strike.
Yeah.
And even then, that's a borderline strike. I mean, it hits a lot of the zone, but Alfaro went up there, looking to hit a 3-run bomb, and he ends up tapping it back to the pitcher. He hasn't played in more than a week. So he hasn't. I mean, I'm sure he's got BP and stuff, but he hasn't seen live pitching like that. Certainly hasn't been in a situation like that. I would imagine, though, with Mattingly making that move right there, I would imagine that Alfaro's probably in the lineup tomorrow, even despite
Yeah.
Even despite that missed opportunity,
That's rough.
Yeah, that's obviously you don't love being down by this amount, but the opportunities were there. They've left 6 guys on today. They're 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, this is probably going to be representative of what most of the games we're going to see versus the Braves are. And if we do advance, it will be representative of what we see versus the Padres and the Dodgers. It's just, can we kind of control the madness? Because clearly one bad inning turns into just a boatload of runs, a frenzy. We have to be near perfect because we don't have that potential that these teams do have. And that's kind of what we're lacking at this point this season. I don't think right now we should just be like, oh, it's over. It's one game. Pablo could come out tomorrow and throw a shutout, and we could be right back in it. I'm just going to say my final thoughts now because I have a meeting in a few minutes, so I'm going to be heading off. But I don't think today that bad. We played a great game. We had one bad inning. It happens. This team is still really talented, still fighting for each other. I'm not down on it. We even fought this past inning after going down 9-4. We still put runners on base. We still attacked. And it just came down to, some good pitches by Chris Martin to Corey Dickerson and Jorge Alfaro. And, it's going to be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And we can't win all of them. I know we've done this for, 3 games. This is the 3rd time we've done this. This is a first loss we've taken on one of these, or on one that I've done. So I'm experiencing losing while doing one of these for the first time now, but I don't think it means that much. I mean, I think we can start to worry if we lose tomorrow. But we did not expect to come into the series and sweep the Braves. I know I didn't. And, we lost with Max Fried on the mound for them. We'll see if they can do the same thing with Ian Anderson and Kyle Wright on the mound.
Yeah. Yeah, and good point. And now that we've seen them in the postseason form, what they're swinging at. We know what kind of aggressiveness they're going for, and like you said, the madness though, man, that's 6-run inning. That can't happen anytime ever. So that's what I'm hanging.
Just shows how quick the Braves can just do it. Their potential to do that we don't have, and that doesn't mean we can't beat them. It just means, if we can curb that potential, we can. And today was just a case where we didn't, and that's going to happen. And those are my final thoughts. Marlins fans, we're fine. We'll pull up tomorrow. We'll be back in it. This team doesn't fold when their back's against the wall.
The game's not over.
You never know. We could put up 6 runs in the last inning.
That would be something. But
thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure as always. I'll be here tomorrow.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys then.
All right,
Chris. Looks like Mattingly might be throwing in the towel because he put in Ryan Stanek. This guy's been terrible.
Yeah.
You need everybody. It's gonna be 5 straight days.
Of course.
3 straight days. So
yeah, he's absolutely making the right choice here. You can't burn through Boxberger and Kinsler or even Blyer at this point. So you go with a guy who has some experience. Stanek, he was with the Rays and stuff. And hopefully Stanek can kind of find that form. He was so good with Tampa. But since the Marlins acquired him as part of that trade for Nick Anderson and Trevor Richards, he's not been very good, not been very consistent. So, maybe if he can lock in here and have a shutdown 8th, maybe he goes back out there. Well, I mean, if the Marlins don't score, it doesn't matter. But, in order to save this bullpen, Ryan Stanek needs to have a solid outing here. Because I mean, there's not really very many other arms that you look at in that bullpen and that you trust. Mattingly added the team added Nick Vincent to the bullpen for the NLDS. And this is obviously not a situation where you're going to go with any of their long guys. So, if Ryan Stanek gets into trouble here, it's going to be Nick Vincent next. I can't imagine that we're going to see Boxberger or Kinsler today. But
Yeah.
ideally Stanek gets out of it, although, he's already put a guy on.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be a rough finish here.
yeah, this is less than ideal game one, but it is only game one. So, I'm with Christian with that idea. I mean, it's only game one, but obviously it's a 5-game set. So, tomorrow isn't must win, but it's basically must win.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
It gives you a little bit of more time to react than a 3-game series. And so, but still, tomorrow it's going to be Pablo, and you never know, or especially lately, how Pablo is going to come. But you do know that the Braves are not going to have their best arms coming up, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, right. So this is really going to tap. I mean, the Braves lineup is why they're in this position. Their pitching depth. I mean, Ian Anderson has been pretty good for them as a rookie. They've been really happy with him. He's been pretty awesome thus far. So they're confident with him. But once it gets past Anderson, I mean, the Marlins have handled Kyle Wright in the past. He's pitched a little bit better of late, but these next games will be winnable. But the pitching staff has to keep this lineup under wraps. And then, you look at the Marlins and you're like, okay, they put up 5 runs. The pitching staff, they've got to maximize the offense. The output, a 5-run output from our offense should have been a
W.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah.
It should have been a win.
They won with 5 runs in the first game of the last series, so
yeah.
it's a matter of, it's going to be pitching. Whatever the pitching can do, that's going to be the way the Marlins are going to go in this series. By the way, the Athletics are up in Dodger Stadium, home run by Chris Davis, who doesn't hit the ball very often, but whenever he does,
he goes yard.
It's a home run. So 1-0, they are in the bottom of the second in that second game of the ALDS. The Astros won the first one 10-5. Strikeout for Acuña here.
He got him pretty bad with that slider. Acuña, he checked his swing, but he made him look silly there a little bit.
Yes. And I know Stanek hasn't had a good year, but when he came from the Rays, he used to be a very important arm in the Rays bullpen. So I don't know for this season, and I don't know what his contract situation is, but for the future, he should be one of those reliable arms there in the bullpen.
He should be, right? But he hasn't been.
Unfortunately,
he hasn't been. And Tampa used him as an opener a lot.
Yes.
But that's something that Mattingly, I guess, has never really been interested in trying. I thought maybe this would be an option. And listen, it could still be. This could be an option for maybe game 4, if we get there, game 5, where he goes with an opener with Stanek. If Stanek has a good inning here, if he can get Freeman to bounce into a double play, get some confidence and whatnot, he might maybe Mattingly goes with the opener with Stanek since he has that kind of experience. But he hasn't been a good reliever as a Marlin. So it's disappointing. Obviously, when you think about that trade for Trevor Richards and Nick Anderson, we also got Jesus Sanchez in that deal. So you would imagine Jesus Sanchez was more of like the piece that the Marlins were looking for. But Stanek was, I mean, he's a major league reliever. He should have been a little bit better than than what he's been, obviously. And then going into next year, he's only on a 1-year deal at this point. He makes $600,000. He could be, he's pre-arbitration, so the Marlins should, they still have control over his contract for the next 3 years. So if they want to hang on to him, they can. He'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2024. So, but if they want to cut ties with him moving forward, they can. But he's moving into his arbitration years now, so we'll see. He might be making himself some money if he can perform well.
It's hard to see the game out of reach. It's not like in football where it's like, okay, we'll score a touchdown and then we'll do an onside kick. Here it's kind of like you got to get a really strong inning together.
Yeah, and that's why not pushing another run across there in that last inning really hurts.
Yeah, that was pretty huge.
It could have made things a little bit more interesting. Not to say that the Marlins are going to be able to get 3 runs or whatever it would have been at that point off of whoever Atlanta brings in. I mean, they've got Shane Green in there still available to them. Mark Melancon's available. He's kind of gone through the bulk of his arms here today, but none of those Braves relievers threw a ton of pitches. So you would imagine that most, if not all of them, will be available, moving forward. But Stanek is struggling here as he walks Freddie Freeman. So now that moves Austin Riley to second base. Still 1 out. You'd like to see Stanek kind of lock things down here. I mean, you don't want to see Mattingly have to go back to the bullpen. And certainly if the Marlins have any chance moving forward in this game, they've got to keep it right here to the 4-run deficit. It can't get any wider than that. They've got Ozuna at the plate now. He had the big hit for the Braves in the 7th inning to give them, to tie the game, and so he's had a good day for them, obviously.
Yeah, a couple of good hits because he also brought the second run after that hit by pitch to Acuña that really gave the Braves some spark. So he's been key in those 2 rallies for the Braves.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great hitter. We saw it in his time with the Marlins. I mean, he's kind of the forgotten outfielder in that group, right? Everybody talks about Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton, but Marcell Ozuna had some great moments for the Marlins during his time there, and it looks like that 0-2 pitch. So he strikes out Ozuna, but the ball got away from Alfaro, and now the bases are loaded.
What are those rare on?
Oh, wait, no, they're calling Ozuna out, and they're taking him away from first base. I'm not sure why.
I'm going to watch it right now. I think it was a foul.
No, the ball got away from him. Well, maybe the rule is different with runners on.
Yes, if first base it's occupied, it's an out. So the runners can advance, but the hitter's out anyway.
Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah.
So what? It only applies if there's nobody on.
If there's the key is like if it's right now. With no one on first base.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be with the first base. Yeah.
Got you. Wow.
Well, I mean, regardless, I mean, you got to hope that Alfaro, would do a better job back there. I guess that's the trade-off, right, between Alfaro and Wallach. Wallach is the better defender, the better pitch caller, and Alfaro's supposed to have the better bat. He didn't come through in his one opportunity there, but again, Alfaro hasn't been back there for more than a week,
Right.
So there's obviously a little bit of rust for Jorge Alfaro behind the plate. You gotta hope, that that he shakes it off and that he's able to settle in here, and then that Ryan Stanek can can keep these runners from scoring. Like, we've got to keep this at a 4-run deficit here.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's also facing Travis d'Arnaud, who's 3 for 3 and run with. He has the biggest hit of the ball game, right, with his 3-run bomb that gave the Braves the lead. He's got 4 RBI on the day. You know, if he gets a triple here, he'll be hitting for the cycle, but that would take some doing, I think. d'Arnaud's not the fastest guy in the world. And what's funny is he's like the forgotten guy in this lineup, right? You think about Acuña, you think about Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Marcelo Zuna, even Dansby Swanson and Adam Duvall. You think about all those guys before you think about Travis d'Arnaud, and he's the one that's had the biggest game here today.
Yep, the former Met.
Yeah, and he also brought the 3rd run, so he's been there too. It's unbelievable how he went from not counting for the Mets. He also had kind of a rough year with the Rays.
No?
He went all over the place.
Yeah, and he's turned into a bona fide frontline catcher here with the Braves.
Yeah.
And it deepens their lineup so much to be able to put him hitting 4th there, and then to have Albies and Swanson and Duvall behind him. I mean, this lineup is dope.
Yeah, him and Duvall have been 2 great surprises for the Braves, for sure.
Yeah, and those 2 specifically have really hurt the Marlins this year. I mean, I know Acuña's hit some bombs, and Freddie Freeman is traditionally a Marlins killer, but this year specifically, d'Arnaud and Duvall have been the guys that have kind of feasted on Marlins pitching.
Right.
Big pitch here from Ryan Stanek. 3-2 count, 2 outs. And he walked him. So, bases loaded. Nick Markakis.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad of a pitch. Just a little outside. Low on outside. Slider and 3-2 against d'Arnaud. I guess they think they can get d'Arnaud with the slider, because Jimmy Garcia in a 2-0 count tried to throw a slider in the middle, and d'Arnaud just crushed it to center field. So, okay, bases loaded. They're just calling the bullpen, and we'll see what happens now with Ryan Stanek.
Yeah, at this point, I think they're just trying to buy this last out, you know.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a tough spot here. You know, they're staying away from the fastballs. I mean, Sandy threw a lot of fastballs, right? But I mean, the Braves came into this game with, you know, one of the best, if not the best, average against fastballs. They're hitting over 300 against fastballs. I mean, you know, Freeman, Ozuna, d'Arnaud, Albies, Swanson, they're all really, really good against the fastball. You know, and obviously, it's something that the pitchers have thought about. He gets Albies to fly out to end the 8th, so he does. He does end the potential rally there. It was a lot of pitches. He threw over 30 pitches, 31 or 32 pitches,
Wow.
which probably eliminates Stanek
For a couple of days at least.
Good.
Yeah, for a couple of days. Yeah, probably good.
Well, but you know what? They didn't score runs off Stanek. They scored runs off Jimmy Garcia and the other guy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, he throws over 30 pitches today. If you give him 2 days off, maybe he does come back in Game 4 as the opener.
Yeah, he could start that game, give you 1 inning or 1 or 2 innings like the Rays used to do. So I think it's Mark Melanson coming for the 9th. I saw him warming up and getting ready. It is a 4-run lead. And we saw how Mattingly brought Kinsler in that 5-1 win in the first game of the wild card series at Wrigley Field. So I guess Brian Snitker's thinking the same. They're bringing their closer in order to protect that 4-run lead anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
Get some mileage on him. And
Yeah.
some tape. So we'll see how he's playing. And 4 runs, although it's a lot, it's feasible. And you have Mags, and then Birdie and Aguilar. I like that. I like that start. Let's do it.
I mean, you're right. You're going to at least see the top of the order here. To get into this. For the Marlins, I guess, if they're trying to win this game, it's a matter of getting on base at this point. Get them on and get them over. You've got 3 outs to work with. You've got to score 4 runs at least to extend this game. So Sierra, who's been pretty good today, right? He's gotten on base twice, and then after that, it's Birdie who's gotten on base once. Aguilar hasn't been great today. He's 0 for 4. But then after that, Cooper has a hit. Brian Anderson has 3 hits. Rojas obviously has the big-time home run. So, if the Marlins can get some of these guys aboard, if Sierra can get on, if Birdie can get on, they might be able to put some pressure here on the Braves bullpen on the back end of it, because they have Melanson, and then they also have Green is available to them as well. So, I mean, both of those guys are good pitchers, right? Mark Melanson had a 2.78 ERA this year. Shane Green had a 2.60 ERA this year. So they
if they could break Melanson and somehow force Shane Green into the game, that's a big win. Even if the Marlins do lose, just because you get to see all their pitchers. You want to kind of overwork everybody, but we'll take it a hitter at a time.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is at this point, right? I mean, Mattingly has always talked about going day by day and whatnot, and then for the Marlins right now, it's at bat by at bat. They've got to be able to put something solid together here. Melanson against the Marlins this year. The Marlins are 2 for 13 against him this year, and he has 2 strikeouts. He didn't walk anybody. The only guys that got hits off him were Jesus Aguilar. He got a hit, and Lewin Diaz also got a hit off of Mark Melanson. But Lewin Diaz is not part of the roster this year, at least for this series, rather.
Yeah, the other guy on the bench is Sean Rodriguez right now. So
yeah, well,
that's what you get.
Yeah, Sierra did not look good in his at bat. He struck out, on 3 pitches.
Wow.
So not the best start to this lineup or to this inning. All things considered, I mean, the Marlins, they were okay today. Just had that one terrible inning.
Yeah, it came down to a couple of innings, right? That inning after the hit by pitch with Acuña, and then the 6 runs in that 7th inning, man. It was just a hard crusher. Look at Ryan can't even look at us right now. He's so mad at us.
I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game on my laptop, but I am really upset. Whatever. But we all learned from it. Don Mattingly learned something from this. Having that 1-run lead didn't seem comfortable, and you saw it kind of blow up in their faces. Marlins offense kind of stops for a bunch. I mean, from the 2nd inning on, 3rd inning on, you got to continue putting runs on the board.
And he just struck out Birdie looking. I mean, it looked like a ball. I don't know if
like a little bit inside. Yes.
Yeah. Does
the
gameplay have it?
Yes, here.
Or the game cast?
Too late. But yes, it was a little bit inside. Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah. But listen, this is, I guess, the least ideal, because Melanson just threw 6 pitches, 7 pitches, and the inning is over. So that's it. That's the ball game.
Game over. All right.
Yeah. Jesus Aguilar, hit the ball pretty well, but stayed in the park.
All right, Ryan, you want to be in the post-game show?
How long is it?
It goes about 10 minutes, maybe less.
I don't know. If you want me, I don't care. It's all right. I guess you guys can talk it out. It's no big deal.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Ryan. We love
All
you.
right.
We'll be back later
All right.
to watch the Miami Heat. All right. Let's start the post-game show right here with David Fernandez. Let me put the 5 Reasons logo on so we don't have to add it later. And here we go. We're going to start in a little second just to edit it later. All right. So this is the post-game show for the Miami Marlins Atlanta Braves. The Braves take game 1 of the series after a 6-run 7th inning. Is just what we didn't want, right? A battle of home runs that we knew the Marlins were not gonna be able to actually match against the Atlanta Braves. A good start by Sandy Alcantara, going 6+. He ended up allowing 5 runs, 5 end runs, or 4, because the last one I think it didn't count to him because it was
they got him 5 earned runs. So
they got him 5. Okay, so he lost this game. He goes to the loss column for Sandy Alcantara, but it was a very exciting game. He had a little bit of everything. We can break down since the beginning of the game. I mean, it started pretty bad with the home run by Acuña, but it looked like Sandy Alcantara settled down at that moment. Let's go little by little. Welcome back, David Fernandez. Let's talk about this first game of the National League Division Series.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the ending to this game that you wanted. I mean, the Marlins, they were looking good there, right? I mean, you think about the job that they have in front of them, right? They are facing one of the most potent offenses in the league, right? This Braves lineup is right up there with the Dodgers lineup. It's right up there with the Yankees lineup. This is, night and day from what the Marlins saw in the previous round with the Chicago Cubs. I mean, the Cubs were a light hitting team. I mean, they were long on experience, but they didn't, they weren't any good with the bats, and we saw that. I mean, the Marlins limited them to what? Just the 1 run in 2 games?
Yeah, that one home run by Ian Happ.
Yeah, so obviously we knew this was going to be very, very different, and you worried about what it was going to look like moving into this ball game, right? And then when Acuña takes Sandy deep in the first at bat of the ball game, you really worry about what was going there. But then Sandy was able to bounce back, right? He had, nothing else came across in the first. He had the shutdown inning in the second, but then he ran into a little bit of trouble there again in the 3rd inning. And again, we talked about this obviously during the game, but it seemed the whole tenor of this game changed in the 3rd, right? The Marlins had pushed their lead to 4-1 at that point. We saw a great response from the Marlins offense, right? We saw the monster home run by Miguel Rojas. And then, in the 4th inning, we see the Cooper double that scores Birdie and Sierra. And then, Brian Anderson comes through with a single that scores Cooper. So the Marlins were up 4-1. But then Sandy goes out there coming off the shutdown inning in the 2nd. He gets a quick out to start the 3rd. But then Acuña comes up and he plunks Acuña, right? And then we had some dramatics there with that. And it seemed to kind of maybe get him off of his game a little bit because he ends up giving up a couple runs. I mean, what do you think about? I mean, I know we talked about it during the game, but what did you think about the 3rd inning?
No, I think I talked to the guys about this. First, I didn't think it was on purpose. I think they were just trying to mix it up because they started out at bat with a slider in the outside, very beautiful pitch. And then you saw how Wallach set up in the inside, and that's where they've been working Acuña to try to get him out in the inside of the plate. And I know Ureña is not the best just putting the ball there, but Alcantara has been. He just, I mean, you can never know if it's actually on purpose. You have to ask the pitcher, and the pitcher can tell you whatever he thinks or whatever he has to say. But I think that was not the purpose of Sandy Alcantara, especially in that inning, having that 4-1 lead early in the game, you don't want to have runners on. You don't want to face Freddie Freeman, Marcelo Zuna, and Travis Darnot with a guy on. And look what happened. A couple of doubles came up, and just like that, the game was 4-3, and it was a different game, right? From that point, even though Sandy Alcantara got to the 7th inning, winning 4-3, and he did his job, and we had an inning where everything went bad. I don't think they wanted to hit Acuña on purpose in that precise moment. And even Sandy had the opportunity to strike him out early. The very next inning, the 4th inning, he struck him out with men on first and third. And that's what baseball is about.
Yeah.
He celebrated Acuña did his bat flip, and Sandy celebrated his strikeout, and that's what it is. I mean, you're gonna get the guy out sometimes. The guy's gonna get you deep sometimes. That's just part of the game. Too bad for Sandy that in the last one, Acuña got a base hit, and that sparked the rally, the 6-run rally for the Braves. What do you think about Mattingly leaving Sandy Alcantara? We talked about it during the game, but it's gonna be a point of discussion in Marlins Twitter, because he was 91 pitches in. We saw him the last couple of times that he took Sandy out. Sandy was mad, and this time he gave him the confidence again that he trusts Alcantara in that situation, and it backfired. I mean, it was bad luck. Riley hit a grounder to second base, nothing to do because the guys were shifted towards the left side on the infield. That's a base hit. Then Acuña hits a sharp ball to the middle, and that's a base hit. And then from them, it was just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're right. That's kind of the pivot point of this game, right? We look at the 3rd inning. If he doesn't run into trouble in the 3rd inning, and we have a 4-1 lead going into into those later innings, obviously you feel a lot better about that. And you would probably allow Sandy to go out there with the 7th inning with a 3-run lead. But going out there with a 1-run lead after having thrown about 90 pitches, you wonder whether or not the game would have been different had he gone with Yimi to start the inning instead of bringing Yimi in with 2 on and nobody out, right? I mean, Yimi's been really, really good this year. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not down on Yimi. I mean, it was a terrible performance by him, right? A terrible inning by him. He doesn't even get out of the inning, right? But you wonder if Mattingly maybe went with the emotion of Sandy, if Sandy lobbied to go out there for the 7th inning, he might have been thinking about trying to save his bullpen with a 5-game series, right, where there's no off days, So maybe he was trying to steal another inning there from Sandy. But listen, in retrospect, I mean, they put up 6 runs. I know that we talked about this during the game. I was against going with Sandy out there to start the 7th. I thought it would have been a much different situation for Yimi had he started the inning, with a clean inning, right? He gets it right from the start, and then he goes from there. And then obviously, listen, if it explodes and they get 4 runs off of Yimi the way that they did, people will turn around and blame Mattingly for not sending Sandy back out there in the 7th after he pitched so well. So kind of a lose-lose situation. Obviously, we're kind of playing the results a little bit. It was an incredibly difficult situation. I'm looking forward to hearing what he had to say after the game.
Yes.
But it was a tough spot. And listen, the bullpen, Yimi was good. He was good all year long. Hoyt has been pretty good all year long too. And they weren't able to stop the bleeding in that spot. They weren't able to keep it to a small number. They weren't able to keep it a tie game, So the Marlins offense never really got the opportunity to come through. Although they had some, they did have an opportunity later in the game.
Yeah, and when you come back to that game against the Chicago Cubs, Mattingly did exactly the same. He gave Sandy the opportunity to come out to the 7th inning. In that game, Sandy retired the first 2 guys of the inning, and then I think he walked somebody, and that was it for Sandy. And that's when Mattingly came out and took him out of the game. So if you follow the way Mattingly has been managing these games, he just did the same thing. It's just the difference is what you mentioned in the beginning of the video. this is not the Cubs offense. This is the Atlanta Braves offense. So that's something to take into consideration. And like you said, the Marlins had a chance to make it an even closer game with a rally in the eighth. They had Jorge Alfaro with a couple of men on and 2 outs, and he just couldn't deliver at that point. And that brings me to my next discussion before we go, because I know you want to go to the Zoom calls, and that's important because they're going to talk about all these details, and then you're going to see all these reports on the 5 Reasons Sports website, 5reasonsports.com. Jorge Alfaro, what do you do tomorrow? You play him with Pablo Lopez pitching, looking for more offensive support, or you keep trusting your defensive catcher back there with Pablo Lopez on the mound for game 2?
Hey, listen, it's a tough question, and Mattingly has talked about how he went with Wallach over the last couple of days, the last several games, right? Because it's been more than a week since Alfaro's been in the ball game.
Right.
He went with Wallach because they were kind of riding the wave of momentum, right? The pitchers had found a groove. Pablo Lopez had returned to form. Sandy had returned to form. So it really makes you wonder. Now, Lopez did pitch really, really well to Wallach. So if Wallach starts tomorrow, it's because Pablo Lopez is on the mound. I think if it's Sixto Sanchez tomorrow, there's no doubt in my mind that it would be Alfaro. I think, though, that there's a case to be made here for Alfaro to be back in the lineup just to have another potent hitter. He hasn't been great this year. I understand.
Yeah.
But, he has a track record. We've seen him hit, we know that he's got the long ball in there. He can get extra bases, he can drive in runs when the opportunities are there. I mean, he didn't come through today, but again, he hasn't been in a game since, for more than a week, since before the Yankees series. So, if I were Mattingly, I'd probably go with Alfaro just because for the offense of it. But if it's really a matter of like Pablo Lopez needs Chad Wallach back there, then obviously you got to go with Chad Wallach, because what's more important tomorrow is the pitching performance from Pablo Lopez.
Yeah.
The reality is, if the Marlins can score 5 runs, they should be winning these ball games. The Atlanta Braves offense, they scored 5.7 runs per game in 2020. So the pitching staff has to limit it has to limit that Braves offense. It has to keep them at 5 or less, just to give the Marlins a chance, because the Marlins offense, again, it's not super potent. They only average 4.3 runs per game. So, it's something that Mattingly definitely has to wonder about. And, it'll be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the right answer for me is to keep Wallach because of what you just said. In order for the Marlins to win the series, they have to keep it a low-scoring series. They're not going to outscore the Braves just hitting home runs and extra bases all the time. So that's the main point of this series. I know when you look at it, you feel like, okay, we need more hitting. Okay, but you also need better pitching. And that's what you've had with Chris Wallach. Even though today is not the best example of that, that's what has happened in the last couple of weeks. So I think, my gut feeling is telling me that Alfaro is going to play tomorrow, but what I would do is just to play Wallach, just because you need better pitching. And like you said, at the end of the day, we can talk whatever numbers or this or that, but whatever the starting pitcher feels like, that's probably what the manager is going to do. So thank you, David. I'm going to let you go so you guys can cover the Zoom calls with the Marlins here in a second. You're going to have all that content on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be back tomorrow for the second game of the National League Division Series. Thank you very much. Subscribe and see you tomorrow. Big game.